Hey all, J-Man here. I just want to tell you about beardedshirts.com. It's a great place to get a lot of cool superhero shirts and other merchandise. You can scroll, they've always got sales on. As you can see, they've got these really cool print all over shirts, which I really love. That's Eddie, the founder of the site. And if you're looking for stuff, all you got to do is you click on the search here and you can type in all over. And that's going to show you the all over prints, which are really, really cool. Look at that. You got Legion of Superheroes, you got Brave and the Bold, you got JSA, you got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all kinds of stuff. So check out beardedshirts.com. Hey guys, J-Man here. Welcome to a special live stream today. We're going to be talking about Iron Man. I don't have any Iron Man shirts. I used to have like 3 or 4 Iron Man shirts back in my overweight days. And since I lost the weight, I don't have those shirts anymore. So I'm wearing Feral Lad, which is the closest Iron thing I could kind of come up with. This is from, of course, the Legion of Superhero live streams that we did with Sean and Klobby. And there's about like 400 of those. So many Legion shirts, no Iron Man shirts, but I'm looking to correct that. Okay, so before we get into it, let's talk about quickly tomorrow night. Back here again tomorrow night for Days of High Adventure, and this time we're looking at the movie Circle of Iron. David Carradine, Eli Wallach is in it, Christopher Lee is in it, Roddy McDowall is in it, and it's about this guy who's trying to learn the ultimate truth of martial arts. He competes in a tournament, and he has to go forth on this quest. And the big thing with this movie is that it's a Bruce Lee movie. Bruce Lee had conceived it, wrote it up, came up with the story. He was going to play the David Carradine role. So David Carradine took another role from Bruce Lee. No, but he was going to play that character, and it had a lot of like Zen philosophy in it. So we're going to talk about it tomorrow. It's an interesting movie. I really think it's kind of neat. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, you definitely want to check the movie out, and you want to be here tomorrow when we talk about it. Monday, of course, is Earth's Mightiest Mondays. So, of course, 4 more issues of Avengers. This is episode number 21. We're covering issues 78, 79, 80, and 81. So be there for Monday. Let's give a shout out to our super friends. These are the channel members, so we always shout them out. Dan, Sean, Steven, Brennan, Mark D, RR, Philip Story, Digger Jim, Quagnar, Just Joe, FK, and GT, and of course, CT, Clobber Times, our good friend. Who we miss, and we always shout him out at the beginning of every stream, even if he doesn't really care about the topic. It doesn't matter because we miss him and we want to acknowledge how awesome he was. So put a CT in the comments, of course, to remember him, and let's go on. All right. So let's bring in our special guest. So today we're going to be talking Iron Man, just general talk, comics, love about the character, all that stuff. But also we're going to take a look at a book that my guest has written. Now the book, there is a link pinned in the chat that you can get this book. It's a PDF file. Let me know if it's working. It's a link to my direct personal Gmail drive. So you might have to get permission to access it. Just send me a thing. Just follow the instructions and I'll give you the permission to get it. I'll leave the book up for a while. So it's been there for a long time for the channel members already. So I'll leave it up for a while. And if it's giving people trouble, I can try putting it to OneDrive, but it might be the same thing. So it's tough to share PDFs because I want you guys to be able to see it. We're going to share the screen. We're going to look at it better that way. But if you do want the book, it's there. All right. Let's bring in our special guest, D. Bud Martin. All right. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, great, man. Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
For sure.
Thanks for making my book available.
Yes. And we're going to keep it up there I've had it up since we discussed this. It's been for the members exclusive, but I'm putting it out there for everybody now to grab. So let me know if that's working. I can try I put it also on OneDrive. So I'm going to do a share with OneDrive, and let me see if I can, where is the share? Oh, share. Here we go. Let me see if this one works better. Copy link. All right. Let's see if this one works any better. Maybe like book link 2. So let's see if link 2 is better than link 1. Let's see if that works. And if that one works, I'll pin that one to the chat. All right. While we're doing that, let's say hello to everybody.
Ooh, yeah, that looks good.
Is that one better?
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
I'm not asking for permissions.
Oh, perfect. Let's do that here. Let's.
That looks like it's a better one. Yeah.
Okay. Unpin. Let me remove that message and let me unpin it and let me pin. Okay. So let me. All right. So let's make it a little bit more obvious here. So we're going to pin message. All right. There you go. That's better. Okay. So there you go. That's a better one. So let's say Star Wars Marvel Purist is here. I'm going to put his link up to his channel. Give him a sub, help support him. He's a cool guy. Sean is not in the chat. This is me controlling Sean's chat. Joe Dog is here, though. What's up? I'm just about to head home from a pool party. Awesome. Won't be home for an hour and a half. We might still be going. We'll see how it goes. It's a link for thanks, Purist. Yeah, I got that message in time, so I was able to get rid of that. Fake. I'm a fake fan. That's right. I'm a fake fan. I put the wrong. Hey, Phil. What's it going? How's it going, Phil? D Bud's also in the chat. Thank you. CT. Got a lot of CTs. Looks awesome. Perfect. Thank you. I like that. I'll throw a CT. Oh, I got a CT in there already. Good. Okay. Before we talk about the book, so Iron Man. I know. So through going through your book, I read that you have every issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the next hour showing every. No.
Okay, let's get going.
Let's just like, so you got 1 to 2. What was it? 2.
Well, it's up to the 200s, 200 and almost to 300.
Yeah.
I ended in 1990. It's going through the armors from 1963 through 1990, because frankly, that's around the time I was getting out of comics,
right,
out of my stores. Also, I didn't like the storyline after that, which John Byrne did, which was the Armor Wars 2. And they did some little bit of stuff after that. And thankfully, I actually stopped buying the book completely the month before they went to the teenage Tony Stark storyline and all of this. No.
Right.
So, and I kind of, some of this stuff after the period of the book that covers, I kind of dropped some of the issues. But I still have everything from then, from the Tales of Suspense 39 up to, but it's 260 or something like that. And I used to have all the Avengers issues except Avengers #2. That was the one issue I was missing. And I got rid of a lot of the earlier ones, but I still have a lot of the ones. In fact, the ones you're covering now on your streams, I still have those, that era. So that.
Right, so let's take a look. Let's see some of the big one. Like you got Tales.
Oh, okay.
We got to see. I'll put it you full screen. Let me put you full screen. I mean, there you go, right there. That's crazy. Hey, Skeptic, how's it going, buddy?
Now, This one I got a little bit cheap though, because there's a flaw in it that somebody wrote on the
oh my god
page. Yeah, so I got this very cheaply. It was very inexpensive because of that. When I got it at the time, it was only a few bucks.
And at least it's not written on it's not written on an art page. It's just
the art, the rest of it's fine.
And it's real Skeptic. D-Bud has every issue of Iron Man up to like 200 something.
And then you'll see there's several of them I have. You'll see they have these.
Oh my god, hole punched.
This was my business partner. I was buying these from him in the late 70s. And I wound up become a partner in the stores like a decade later.
Right.
But he picked up a big giant collection of comics that they were like, it was they had all of them hole punched and in 3-ring binders.
Oh,
but it was sort of a like an archive almost. And they
right,
were, I
right.
mean, the problem is that they're in beautiful condition, except for the holes.
Oh man, that's crazy though.
But that was like the only way to find some of these at the time.
Right.
Um, like this issue was a hard one to get. The
Hmm.
second issues, I mean, I used to have almost complete collections of a lot of titles, and some of the ones that I'd be missing like the first few issues on some of
Hmm.
them, but it's usually the second issue is always the hard one to get. I like Avengers #2.
Right.
Didn't get that. I mean, I had an opportunity, but I was like, I was getting out of the stores. I'm like, I can't justify buying that now.
Damn,
And
but to
and then
like,
I think the last issue of because I had a complete run of X-Men.
oh,
Whoop,
sorry,
last one
sorry.
that I got was X-Men #2. That was a hard one. So here's another one with the hole
The hole
punches.
punches, right?
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's in beautiful shape.
That's crazy. So someone just, yeah, they're just collecting them, and they're just like, well, I got to store them somewhere. There's no
Well, it's
bags and boards, people. There's no slabbing and all of this
no, yeah,
crap,
no
right?
slabbing, no. But yeah, I mean, it was a huge collection. It had almost everything. I mean,
Wow.
I got tons of books that I couldn't find otherwise at that time.
Yeah, that one's, yeah. So I've read all of
These
these
are
now.
all ones that you've been reviewing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've been going through all of these, and
The
if you
Mad
notice, I'm not.
Pharaoh.
Yeah, so I'm not doing reviews because it's weird to try to review it. I'm just going through them and the way we do it on our live streams, but just in shorter format, right? Somebody they didn't complain, but somebody had mentioned that, when you're going through two or three or four comics, why is it 3 hours, right? And I said, well, it's really a hangout session. Yeah,
Yeah.
Crimson Dynamo, that's
Now,
awesome.
yeah, this is not one of the Hole Punch ones, but this is
Yeah,
the
that's good.
first really early issue, the first, certainly the Gold Armor issues that I ever got because it
Yeah,
had the
that's
Crimson
crazy.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
So this was the first early one. And then this, I believe this was the last book I needed to get the complete collection of
Wow.
Iron Man.
Melter, yep.
This was the last one I needed. I wasn't finding it.
Yeah, those are all great.
Yeah.
They all look really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, these early
Oh
ones are
my
in pretty good
goodness,
shape.
yes.
This
Yeah, the new
first
Iron
the
Man.
first new Iron Man,
Yeah.
and then this was the first early one of the horned helmets that I picked up was this one, and I'm like, oh
Right.
my god, look at this beautiful Kirby cover.
Yeah. Angel. Oh man.
And then I'll stop for now on this one, which is the
Yeah, oh,
first
the Mandarin.
Mandarin,
Yeah, he was awesome.
but the horned helmet
Yeah.
again. That was the horned helmet is my favorite of the armors, but yeah, I had my complete collection, and I mean, I go through this. There's an introduction in the book that kind of goes through this. I mean, I collected the books. Iron Man was one of the titles that I started collecting. The first one I ever bought was Iron Man '6 out of a
Wow.
7-Eleven in Burbank in 1968. And I that was one of the titles I regularly collected from then on. And then in about the late '70s, '74, like late '74, or no, actually late '73. It's very late '73, November. I found a first comic book store and started. That's when I started buying back
The
issues.
back issues. Yeah.
And by the late '70s, I had completed a lot of the collections that I as far as I gotten. I mean, I sold my collection in I think like '80 or '81
Mm.
because I was simply running out of room. But the one that I kept was Iron Man. Um, I mean, I wish I had saved them all now because I had a complete run of X-Men comics. I had all the Avengers except issue #2. I
I mean,
had
to have all the X-Men and
I
Avengers, that's
had
crazy. Like that's just like I
I
can't
had
even think.
Fantastic Four #5, and then from #8 up, all of
Wow.
them. I had Spider-Man from #3 up.
Oh my god.
Uh, I mean, it was all the stuff. I had tons of Tales to Astonish. I mean, it's just now it's like, oh damn, I wish I'd kept them all, just for
Yeah.
the fun of being able to show them, to you guys. Actually, more of that because I
I
mean, I
mean,
had them, but I don't I'd be overrun with them if I still had them all. But
get a bigger house. How about Purist is asking, what about John Byrne? So I've not read. So well, what did you think about this run? This in 1993? I'm not sure.
I did not like it.
But you have these issues, right? Or
no,
is this? I'm sorry. He's saying this is the 90s. I got you.
Well, yeah, 1990. Yeah, I actually did not like the Byrne run that he did. That's actually when my book ends before that starts. That's the cutoff, is just before the Byrne issues start.
I see.
Because I didn't care for what he did, and I don't really care for John Romita Jr.'s art style. I mean, he did the book when he first did the book. He was kind of doing more like his dad's style, and it was more heavily influenced by Layton's inking. But when he developed his own sort of style, I didn't care for it. It worked in some things, but it didn't work for me on Iron Man. So, but actually, a little bit after that, there was the issue. It was 281, I believe, with the War Machine. It was the first War Machine issue.
Okay, yeah.
And in the letters pages of that, someone was, I think, asking about the different weapons and such. And they kind of put out a thing. So, oh, gee, does anybody have a list of all the Iron Man weapons and armors and all that stuff? And I'm like, well, I got them all.
I got them all, yeah.
I love Iron Man. That's kind of something I've thought of doing anyway. So I kind of put it all together. I just went through all the books and cataloged all the things that he used. And I'm like, man, I could make a book out of this, but I don't, I want pictures and all of that. Well, at the time I did that, and the scanner I had was like a handheld scanner that was like,
I remember those.
My hand. And
yeah, it's like
you could get a strip of. Yeah, I could get like a panel maybe,
right?
And it'd probably be black and white. And I'm like, So, but years later, I'm like, wait a minute. With all the software we have now and bed scanners and all that, I can do it. I could put the pictures in and color and all that. So I finally put it together in like 2010, and that's the book that you can get through the link that J-Man has generously put on at the top of the pin there on the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it in a second as well. Apparently, critics at F4 was best for you. Oh, I'm not getting into that rubbish right now. I did post the Galactus trilogy. So 48, 49, 50, I posted a video of going through it the way we do it on live streams, except it's 20 minutes instead of 4 hours or whatever the hell we do. So if you guys want to see that, I definitely recommend watching that. And that's no jokes. Like, I'm not telling jokes. I'm not being funny. I'm going through it the way I did the Iron Man. I've changed the way I want to present this stuff. The live streams are hanging out and we're having fun and chit-chatting, and that's fine. But these videos that I'm doing, I want it to be content. I don't want it to be just commentary. It's like, here's the comic. Here's what's special about it. Here, just a quick look at it. 5-minute video. Like these Iron Mans are like 5-10 minute videos. That's it. Just to show what's going on. And that's that. I don't want to get into like fighting or any of that stuff. I just want to present the comic. And the only one that I have, I mean, I've got a few. I've got this is the first Hawkeye. It's not slabbed. It's in one of these. It's like it mimics a slab. Yeah, there you go. Yours is a better copy. Yeah, I think your copy's better than mine.
It's got a little spine wear.
Mine's like brutal. It doesn't look that. It looks better because I put it in this thing.
Because it's in that. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks shiny.
It looks very white. Yeah, the white cover looks really good on that. Because the shine helps. Although the lighting in here isn't great because I got the sun's going to come through my windows. I had to close my shades. I actually got the overhead lights on.
Well, Hawkeye is one of my favorites. So I got this more for Hawkeye than I did for Iron Man. I do have. So people have seen. I've got. I don't have big premiere issue, but I got 2 and 3. I know you've got it. I know you've got them. And then I've got a decent. These are not slabbed either. These are just top loaders. I just put some of the older ones. I just put in top loaders just for my own. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is the first issue I ever picked up when I was
number 6.
Now this is not the original copy I had. this is a better one I picked up later, but this was the first issue I ever bought when I was,
I should have number
6 years old.
Yeah, there's my number 6.
Yeah, and I think we reviewed this on Klobby's channel, him and I.
I've seen you on his channel.
Yeah, because I wanted to do this one because it's the first one I ever had. So
I'm not going to go through all of mine. I'll just you can see very quickly, like some of the earlier ones are here, and then after the early ones, like this is 8. I think I've got like 2 to 10 or something like that, and then it starts getting like now we're into 13.
Yeah, I did 12 and 13 with Klobby also. That was the last game I did with him.
Now we're into like 100, and so 120. Like now it's like way past.
Mm-hmm.
That's a famous cover. Everyone knows that cover.
Yeah, I mean that run was the Michelini Layton cover. I mean color run on the book. That's kind of what made me decide to keep that Iron Man collection when I sold my other books. Is that was just so good, and Iron Man, of course, was one of the ones I'd been collecting for almost the whole time I was collecting. So
it's funny. I found kind of growing up and just hanging out with people that there's like sort of 2 camps. There's the freaking Iron Man, camp, and then there's the he's okay. So I don't know why it's like everyone's like, I like Spider-Man. Like everyone kind of likes Spider-Man. Everyone kind of likes the Avengers. It's like either of course people can love them or hate them. But generally people say, I like Avengers. I've got a few Avengers. I like Spider-Man. Iron Man, it's either you're like the Iron Man hardcore guy you're getting every month, or you're just like, So I had one Iron Man comic my entire life. And it's funny because, and I don't have it anymore because I gave it away, but it was one with Doctor Doom on the cover. I was trying to see if I can find it. I think it's in the 200s probably.
Oh, to like 249, 250.
Let me see, Iron Man 249. Yep, that's the exact one, 249. Boom, right there. You called it.
Klobby wanted to do more Iron Man books with me, and that was one of the stories. I'm like, well, actually, that's not one of my favorite stories.
So
I was bringing up these old ones. These old ones that I first bought it,
I drew Iron Man. So Iron Man to me is one of the coolest looking characters, or let's say superheroes in comics of all time. So I always thought he looked awesome. I love West Coast Avengers, but I never got into his own book. And I kept trying, and I'm not going to show all of these. I'm just because I've already taped them up. But every time a new Iron Man series comes out, boom, I grab that one. Then they did Tony Stark Iron Man. I grabbed that one. So, and then you could see, I read about 2 or 3, and then I stop. And this one I got a little bit more. I got maybe 5 or 6. Then the next series came out, and I tried again. I'm like, I don't know. So one day, so I grabbed this book. This is this was for like $4 or $5 at my comic shop, and it's every cover. And then it's just an explanation. So it'll be like 19 pages, the story, the credits, the important characters, a quick synopsis.
Summary of
right.
Yeah, it's like the old indexes they did in the comics. They did as comic books.
Yeah. So I don't know what it goes up to. Well, it goes into volume 2 or 3. So all of volume 1. So I mean, for you would only care about up to probably up to here.
Yeah,
and then the rest of this you don't care about. So for you,
the only Iron Man book I picked up after, I think that 325, I think was the last one that I got new before I stopped buying comics altogether. And then I did buy the last thing I bought of Iron Man was I think it was 1999 or 2000 was the Bad Blood 4-issue miniseries.
Okay,
and that was Michelini and Layton again. And yes, I ranked Michelini Layton over Denny O'Neil by a mile. 5 miles, 10 miles.
Well, so what happened is that I never read any of these. So now when we're going back, I was like, let me go back. And I thought, because we've been doing this stuff like how we did Legion from the first appearance, we're doing Avengers from number 1, we're doing all of these things from number 1. So I started to come up with this trend of I'm going to start everything from number 1. I thought, let me do Iron Man. So I read about 7 or 8 tales of suspense or whatever I posted. And I was like, these are pretty good. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do 1 or 2 issues? Well, Tales of Suspense, I was doing 2 at a time for a little bit, but now I'm into one video, 1 comic, 5 to 10 minutes maximum per length. And that'll chronicle me reading it as a new person. I'm like, this is, so whatever video is up, that's what I've read to. So the next video that's going to go up is the first appearance of Hawkeye. Now that one I read before because it's Hawkeye, not because it's Iron Man. So I'm going to post that video shortly.
Well, and some of those early ones I had read years before I got them as back issues because they were reprinted in Marvel Collector's Item Classics. It was a reprint title that had like Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. So I actually had read a bunch of early Iron Man from that as well. And so I was already familiar with some of the older stuff. But now you might be able to do more issues when it gets to be a split book.
Yes.
You know about the split books.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's going to be Captain America and things. So I didn't even realize because I bought all of them. So I bought everything on digital and it's all either Epics or Masterworks or whatever. And they omit
the other part.
It's just the Iron Man story. So actually so this is funny. I have all the Iron Man comics, PDFs, scans, actual scans of the books officially from Marvel. They released them on DVD.
Right.
I got Captain America, Iron Man, I think Hulk, Spider-Man, something like that. So Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk. Those are the 3 that I got. And they're official. Like it looks like a DVD. And I remember thinking, what are these? Are these cartoons? Like, what is this? And I opened up, I'm like, oh shit, this is the actual comics scanned to PDF. So I shared those to everybody. I gave that all. Sean's got all of it. Steve's got it all. So I was like, I could do it from here. But the thing is that the problem is that those PDFs are double pages. So you can't see it. Like it doesn't look good on the screen.
Right.
Like so I bought them all in the digital format. So that's how I've been reviewing those, but those don't have the other story. It's just the Iron Man story. So I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's odd.
That's odd. Well, the thing is, I didn't even know when it became
Does it at least have the covers?
It does have the cover, so you'll see.
Because some of the covers are Captain America because they switch the covers every other month. Would be
the other guy or whatever. Yeah,
right. Yeah, and they did that with Tales to Astonish as well.
Yes, so
was Hulk and Submariner at the end.
So I have every Tales to Astonish with Namor and Hulk because I love Namor and Hulk. Like those are like top 10 characters. So I have those original issues. Those I got. Iron Man, you just saw my entire collection. So you have everything. I have whatever that little bit was. I'm slowly getting them. Except for Tales of Suspense, which are all going to be expensive. Big premiere issues, slightly expensive. After that, it's not that bad. And I'm willing to pay if I want the thing. Like I'm not against paying if I've got to pay for it. Okay, so let's take a look at the book. So 2010 is what you said. No, we're not going to read all this out.
Yeah, 250. Yeah, 257 though. It lists on there. That's the last issue that the book covers.
Yeah, so there you go, up to 257.
To Iron Man 257, which is June of 1990. And like I said, that's kind of where my collection ends. I've got holes in it after that.
Right. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of this already.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can, unless you want to mention something else, we can kind of move on.
Oh, there's one I forgot to dig that out. There were some indexes, sort of similar to what you were just showing of that Iron Man thing, that someone did in the late 70s, and it was called the. I give you a scroll up a little bit. It was in there.
An introduction.
Right.
Check up more. Oh, RR is here.
More. Yeah.
Hey, RR, how's it going, dude?
Hey.
Yeah, good. Thanks. How's yourself?
Great, thanks. So we're here with D-Bud talking about his book. Make sure you download it from the. I don't know if you downloaded it, buddy.
I haven't. I got your message, and I was on the road because I'm returning. As you can see from the avatar, I was busy hanging out with the stars last night.
Yes. Yeah.
It's me and Ryan Reynolds just catching up.
Right.
I told him to come on your channel, but I don't know if he's going to do it. He's a busy man. But no,
Probably not.
I'll definitely download D-Bud's book.
We're looking at it right now. So, okay. So what did you want to point out, D-Bud?
Oh, I thought I saw it in here, but actually what it was an index that this person was working on, which is similar to the book you just showed of Iron Man books, but he was doing it he was trying to do it for all the Marvel comics. In that he worked out which was more doable in the 70s than it is now. But what he did was he worked out a chronology of the character for Iron Man, because he was not only in his own book, but he was also in the Avengers, and he'd have guest appearances and such. So he worked out like a chronology of what book would come next in the character's, history.
Right.
And I used that as my guide. And then it only went up to Iron Man, I think 117 or 19, something like that. And then I had to work it out after that.
Wow.
And there's 3 parts to this book. The first part is just going through the armors themselves. And the second part is going through all the weaponry and systems. And then the third part of the book is actually the first thing that I really did, which was cataloging everything in every issue. And yes, that's it. The Olszewski.
That's it?
Yes. George Olszewski.
Olszewski.
He's the one. Yeah. And I have the 2 Iron Mans. I had all the other ones he did, but I sold the other ones off, but I kept those. Now, the other thing I had hey, Fatal Jay. The other thing is, I started on this with explaining how I classify these armors, because Marvel, at least with the books that they did a book in the early 90s called the Iron Manual, and they kind of separated the armors simply by cosmetics. If they looked the same, it was the same model. Like, well, that's not what happens in the books. In the books, there's several issues where he changes the armor. It looks exactly the same, but obviously there have been changes to it. So I had to kind of make a rule as to what is a new model of armor. And they refer to them as Mark 1, Mark 2. So I said, well, I'm calling them models to distinguish it from Marvel's thing.
Can I ask a nitpicky question?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right. So does that chronology of the armors include the modifications that Reed Richards made to the Iron Man suit during Secret Wars?
No, but we'll get to that.
Controversy.
So our D-Bud, you may have missed this in the beginning. He has every Iron Man comic, including all Tales of Suspense. So he has the first Iron Man all the way to 257, I think was the number. He's got them all, like right there. So you missed the first 5 minutes. He literally showed Tales of Suspense 39. Was that it's like he has them all.
Pull the file back up.
one. Oh, sorry, that's me. Wrong button. There you go. Look at that. Boom, right in his hand.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
He also had
comic book history.
40, 41, 42.
It just goes on. He's got the whole thing. Believe me, he was going through them all. We could just do a stream where he just holds up each one of them, and it'll just go up to.
But actually, going back to what he just talked about, I was asking about modifications and such. So I had to come up with rules on what's a model and what's not. What's just a modification, because sometimes he just changed a couple of items in it.
It's explained here.
And I have, this page explains the whole thing. And what it is the chest plate is the big part of the armor.
Right.
So anytime he makes a significant change to the chest plate, I would consider that would be a new model. If he's just changing the helmet or the gloves or some other, system that it's explained that he's changed it, then that's just a sub model. I don't count that as a new model. It's a sub-model.
Are you saying that impromptu modifications, like in the middle of a battle, or he very quickly has to come up with a solution for something, that would not be a new model per se?
Well, no.
It would just be an adaptation of an existing model.
It's only if he's physically changing the armor as far as like a piece of the helmet usually, or the gloves. It's usually
Mm,
those.
yeah.
Or like there's time when he had to change the refractory coating when it's really
Mm.
stated explicitly. But if he's just like jury rigging something, that's not a model. I mean, he's not actually casting a new suit to do that.
Right.
So it's more like, would he have create a new suit for it? Then that's a model. If it's
All
just
right.
he's just changing the helmet or the gloves, that's just a submodel. There's like one sort of exception to the chest plate rule, which is when he made some modifications to the Silver Centurion armor. And that's because they explicitly showing him just tinkering with the existing chest plate. And because they explicitly show him just doing that, then I go, well, that's just a modification then. He's not recasting the whole set of armor.
Right.
Now, to the point you were talking about is like the Secret Wars thing.
Yeah.
I do not cover anything from issue, I think, what is it, 166 to almost 200, because I can't. That's explained in the story that his armor gets destroyed by Stane's henchman, the Rook, in issue, I think, 166. And from that point, he's just using, he describes as a cannibalized suit of armor from earlier suits that he had. And that's also what Rhodey wears through his time as Iron Man,
Mhm.
which is up to issue 200. And so I can't tell what those are.
Right.
There's no way to catalog those properly and say, well, this is model 1, this is model 2, whatever, because it's a cannibalized suit. I don't know what part's what.
Right. So you're saying, okay, so he, from model 1, he's using the gloves, and from whatever he's using the boots, and from whatever so it's like he
Yeah, and
cobbled
you
together
wouldn't
what
be
he
able to
could.
tell that because they're not going to explain that. They're just
Right,
saying, well, this
right.
is a cannibalized armor. So, well, then I don't know what's what. So there's
Right,
no way
right.
for me to properly catalog that. But on top of that, Tony Stark as Iron Man, I effing hated those issues.
Right.
So it was a great excuse for me to say, I don't even want to cover these issues because I hate them. Tony
so
Stark is
you're
Iron. But,
yeah, you're not the mantle. You're not the mantle.
If it wasn't the case that they had
May I ask though?
I would have cataloged it, but because they did, I couldn't. So I'm like, well,
Okay, so yeah, so it was a little bit of a. So you would have if they would have explained it, but they didn't. So then it was
if
just
they
like
just
there's no
said,
point.
yeah, if this was the prior suit or something like that, that would be doable. Or if
Right.
it's this is just a backup suit, which I don't. A backup suit doesn't count as a new model. It's
Right.
the same model. It's just a backup.
I got you. Yeah.
But with that,
I-
they explicitly state it's cannibalized from pieces of all sorts of other suits. So I don't know what it is. So that whole era of Iron Man with Rhodey as Iron Man, I don't have in this because I can't. There's
All
no
right.
way to
Okay.
be.
Makes
But
sense.
may
There's
I
no,
ask
I
though?
can't be rigorous about what it is.
Okay.
So.
May I ask you though, how did you feel about the whole? Because that the change to Rhodey as Iron Man, if I'm remembering correctly, is precipitated by the Demon in a Bottle storyline, where Tony's life gets really out of control, and for a while he decides he's not safe as Iron Man.
It's a second one though. In the original Demon in the Bottle, that's only a few issue arc.
Hey there.
In when Rhodey takes over, it's him. Stark kind of relapses into alcoholism, and then that stretches for a couple of years. And that's when, I mean, early on in that, he gives up being Iron Man, and Rhodey becomes Iron Man. Stark becomes like a Skid Row bum for a while, and he finally comes in. But that's
Classic.
It was sort of a, they were just sort of copying the story from earlier and just extending it on to more stuff. And I personally hated that.
It kind of mirrors
It was-
Robert Downey Jr.'s real life story.
But it was sort of to me, it was a ripoff of what they did in Green Lantern, where they had, well, let's have this other character, John Stewart, take over as Green Lantern. And he's, instead of a white man, he's a black man. And I'm like, well, they're just doing that in Iron Man. They're just copying Green Lantern.
Right.
That's all. And I loved Rhodey actually previous issues, but when they make him Iron Man, it's like he's not Iron Man.
Hey,
Tony
Dave
Stark
C.
is Iron Man. I like him as War Machine. I didn't like him as Iron Man because he's not Iron Man.
I also liked him as War Machine as well. Just
Yeah.
make it. I don't mind having another character, like a new character, as a different thing. Like just say, oh, he's going to be called War Machine. That's cool,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as Iron
I don't
Man, I'm
mind
like,
that.
no,
but he's
that's
not
like
really.
that would
Iron
be
Man.
like having somebody else be Spider Man.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and Marvel would never do that.
No, they'd never do
Yeah,
that. They'd never have
do
somebody
that.
else. No.
So hold on, I want to go through the format though of this section, just the format wise.
Mhm.
So so model 1, gray
Yeah. So
armor.
this is I have the model. If
Hail, Dave.
it's kind of obvious cosmetically what it is, like in this case, it's the gray armor. I list that, the first appearance, all the issues that it appears during the period that I'm covering,
Right.
including flashback issues. One thing about flashback issues, those aren't canon. Only contemporary issues, because they do things specifically with the gold armor
Yeah.
that they do later things in later issues where he's wearing it that are incorrect.
I read some, so I did read quite a bit, and I did read that on some of them where it's like, oh, it's like a flashback, but then this is like wrong,
But
like
this
they
is wrong.
flashbacked it wrong or whatever. So it's like, okay, that doesn't,
Yeah.
that's not a thing, and that's just because it's tough with these guys. They don't know; they're just writing whatever, and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
it'll be a flashback.
And the
No one's
artists
gonna-
are used to it being one way currently, but if you actually look at the original issues, it wasn't that way. I mean,
No.
specifically the repulsor rays is with, like, the gold armor did not have built-in repulsor rays.
Right.
But when they did later issues where he's wearing it, they're built in. It's like, well, that's wrong. They weren't built in.
Right.
And then I just do a little bit of the identifying features as far as physically what the changes are.
Right.
And then the model notes are kind of giving a little history of just that suit of armor. After that, I list all the systems and weaponry that are used for that suit of armor. If and some of it's mostly weapons, but
True.
sometimes it's things like the pacemaker system, of course,
Mhm.
sensors and computers and things like that. That there's specific functions; those all list out. But it's mostly weapon types, and
And you
plenty of
scanned all of
illustrations,
these,
as you
right?
can see. Yeah, these are all scans from my comics, the original comics, except for the early Avengers issues. I didn't have those anymore, so I would grab pictures off the internet or scan my copy of my Marvel Masterworks that I have, because I have all those Masterworks.
Yeah. So this is cool. So like they need to, like this is actually better than what Marvel would produce. Like if you look at one of the DK books or something, they would just have it all. It's not as thorough as this, and even to show you the little things that have all happened. How long did it take you to do? How long? This book is 142 pages. How long did it take you to put this book together?
Well, I mean, not counting the original list that I put together, I don't know how long that took me, which is part 3 of the book. But doing all this, it took me probably about 6 months altogether, just making sure, double checking, keeping track of all the different systems. One other thing about this is I try to also mention what part of the armor it's in, like it's a left shoulder or it's in the, the belt or whatever, if I can identify where it's from. And then I usually try to get some pictures of at the end of books that armor was used in.
The left buttock, where he keeps his gas weaponry.
Yes. And then the second armor is the gray. It was originally gray,
right?
And of course you went over it. Tells us it's 40. He starts off in the gray. It's a gray armor, but it's been modified. It's been trimmed down so you can wear it under clothing, and it has kind of that skirt on it, which the original gray armor does not have a skirt around the pelvis. And that's kind of the identifying factor. And luckily, on the action figures, which I have a bunch of them back there, they actually do that correctly.
Oh, do they have, okay.
You can see behind me, Clobby's standing in front of all of them now.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see Clobby there.
He's in front of everybody.
Yeah, good old Clobby. So that, and the other thing about the gold armor is that depending on who drew him, the helmet was different. because if you look at it, like when Kirby drew it and the Avengers are on the covers, the helmet is sort of like a shell. It's just a
Right.
shell shape, and there's no neck or anything. It just goes straight down to the neck collar. Whereas like Don Heck, who drew Tales of Suspense, his main comic, it has a chin, but you can kind of see like here in that middle picture,
Yep.
it kind of looks like the shell.
Right.
The Shellhead name comes from, but you can see in the other ones that he's got a chin, and it does come in. But like the Kirby cover on there, it looks more like the shell. So
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was scaring people. If I remember reading that, like people were getting scared of him, and then he made it gold.
Yeah, that you can see it in those pictures too. That
right.
sequence that I have there.
Yeah, right here. People are like, oh no, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Kind of,
oh my God, he's dreadful looking.
Yeah. I'll paint it gold.
Yeah, his girlfriend that he's hanging out with says, "Oh, he looks so much better if it's gold." Says, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." Okay,
that's Tony. Doing everything for a woman. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, there's number 2 there fighting with that guy.
Gargantua.
So again, look at all the stuff. So he definitely upgraded the weaponry because there's a whole shit ton of stuff now.
Well, yeah, I mean the first issue that's the only issue he really wears that original armor is the first issue. This one he wears throughout. Now he does make a backup. He makes a copy of it when he's trapped in Kala's underworld. Mm-hmm. And he makes an aluminum copy of it.
Yes,
and he fights the Melter.
Melter,
but those aren't. Those aren't different. I wouldn't count those as models because they're just one's just made out of a different material for a specific purpose, and the other's just a backup. He's just making the same suit. It's just a copy of it. So
it's not obvious.
I don't count backups as new models. That's just the same model.
This was great when I saw this image reproducer. I was like, whoa, what the hell? That's an interesting... was Pepper stuck up in the con? She just wants to date Tony. That's her only that's like her only goal in life is to go on dates with Tony. And then he just is like, no.
She was a little snotty to Happy.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy genuinely liked her too. But she's like, oh, you're not my type or whatever. And then... so she didn't yell.
And you can see here on these pictures here, if you scroll back up a little bit, just to the top of this page, see he'd have a palm attachment that he used. That was the repulsor ray, and that's all you ever said. And it usually was in the Avengers that he used the repulsors actually early on. Because Kirby was mainly drawing that. He'd have him using that, but it was always a palm attachment. It was not built into the glove.
There's a lot of one thing that is interesting in reading these from the beginning, and I've only read up to Tales of Suspense, whatever I've posted, so that's a lie. I did read Iron Man 1 to like 20 or 25, like maybe when the first movie came out. So whatever Iron Man 1 came out, they had a sale and I ended up grabbing like big premiere issue to, I don't know, whatever the sale was, like the first 25 or something. And I read all of those, but that was like so long ago. So when I started these videos, I was like, let me start from the very, very, very beginning with this. All right. Model 3, here we go. Now the real Iron Man. Like
this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, now we're into the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Widow's Peak Iron Man.
Well, it's when this is the beginning of his classic look. It's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
This has got the horned helmet. The chest plate's a little different. He's kind of it's in pieces where there's like sections in the abdomen area. Mm-hmm. The top is kind of you can see there's like seams and striations at the top of it. But this is Steve Ditko's remodeling of the Iron Man suit, which is sleeker and it's got different color to it, so it's not just gold. And it looks great. It looks so much better than the other one. Looks like a robot. It's still even after he paints it gold, it just looks like a gold robot. And this looks more heroic looking, more human looking. But I love the look of the horned helmet.
Yeah,
that just looks really neat. And I try to, through the book, if they have a sequence where he's building the armor or showing how he's remodeling it, I try to get a picture of it in there. And like, here's the picture after he's recast it.
And they kind of explain that I don't know if it was in this one or coming up, but like when you put the thing on, it expands and connects the yellow part. So it's like if you put the glove on, the yellow part can kind of goes up on its own.
Yeah, it just magnetically goes up to the chest plate. Yeah, it goes, and the boots the same thing. Puts the boots in, and they go up to the pelvic area. Yeah. Well,
eventually, Fatal J, I'll ask D-Bud about what he thought about the suits in the movie once we go through a little bit more of this. So we're not going to go through every page, guys. This book is available for free.
Controversy.
What? Oh, the Infinity. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. We'll get to that. I want it because I've. So yeah, now you've got. So you like the horn, the spikes,
horn helmet,
whatever,
yes.
right?
And you can see this is a later issue where he has, this is around issue 98, 99, where he had to wear it for story reasons. And he's got the built-in repulsors, which is wrong. Again, even with this suit, it was just a palm attachment in the original comics. And oh yes,
we'll talk about the nose. Yeah. We'll talk about the nose thing.
Yeah. And then I include these two pictures on the left because this is where I had to go by my rule. Is he's got this vent that's on the back that you can see on the armor.
Yep.
And then after issue 52, I believe it's 51 or 52, it's gone, and it's obviously gone. I think it's 50. Yeah, 52. I think it's gone. And because Heck is drawing this, I think it's in the first issue with this new suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's clearly gone after that. And it's really just kind of the artist wanted to stop doing that. But because it's a significant change to the chest plate, when they did that, I then had to create another model. So this is model 3. But then it only lasts a few issues because they removed this vent from the back. So I go, well, that's got to be
model 4. Model, right? Yeah, because he's literally removed it. There you go. You got the some of the accessories here. The belt, yes, the belt and the beam coming out. That's all there.
The jets change. Like these are like more of a chemical one. The other ones are just air jets. This is more of a chemical one, and it's always kind of leaving little vapor trails after it. So
it's tough with Iron Man because sometimes there's artist's discretion too. Like, how do you represent? How do you represent the thing, and what is it actually? What actually is it? Now I've read both of these issues actually, because one for my Avengers stream and one for my Iron Man videos. But that's cool. So okay, so now we're into 4. Now, is this technically? Have we passed your favorite, or is this now technically your favorite?
Well, this is still a favorite as well because it's the same look. It just doesn't have the vent on the back.
Okay, so this is the same. Yeah, you're counting.
But because, and I'd say that I see. Identifying features. I go, well, because they took that out, and here's an image to illustrate it.
Right.
It's clearly not there. Don Heck was the main artist. He showed it in those previous issues, and then here it's clearly not there. So I'm like, okay, that I have to call that a new model by the rule. But you can see the repulsors on these are still
it's an attachment.
It's not built into the glove.
Yeah. He had a lot of That's one thing I've discovered when going back and reading these. It's like a lot of this stuff that's going to become part of the armor that you just think is, that's just generic part of the armor. It's an attachment piece. You're like, it's like, okay, that's interesting. It's like, but anyway, okay. So Black Widow, this is another surprise. So she appeared. I forgot that she had appeared in Iron Man.
I can't wait for you to do these issues here.
Yeah, I'm going to do them all. So I'm definitely going to do them all.
Because this is a great story. This is, and this is a weird one. So this is this is the first one that I call a modification
Okay.
because he changes the helmet. And you can see here he gets rid of the horn.
Yeah.
He's got rivets instead.
Yes.
And on this one in particular, he's got rivets going down the center line as well of the helmet.
Oh yeah, he
Now,
does.
and you can still see, you can kind of see in this picture, he still has, you can see the little seams or striations in the chop of the chest plate there around the shoulders and all.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a continued story. 54 and 55 are it's a cliffhanger ending. It's a continued story. But the armor looks different in 55 than it does here in 54.
So again,
And I'm
that's
like,
just
so this was one I was like really difficult. I think, well, because there's no way in hell he could change the armor while he's in the middle of battle here.
right.
I have to kind of go with the fact that 55 they just went with changes they were going to do and drew it in 55 that way. But you have to count it as being in this story as still being the same armor. But there is a little featurette at 55. It's after the main story that's talking about his armor, and in that it shows that some other changes that you do not see in 54 or even 55, frankly.
Well,
But until the little featurette, and so that we'll actually see on the next model. But I had to kind of go that these two issues were that same model, and it wasn't until the featurette that it becomes this model, and this model lasts a while.
Okay. Yeah, 55. I was just checking my schedule. 55 is going to premiere on July 22nd, so a few days from now, and then 56 is on the 29th. So I've already read those, and the videos are posted, so they're dated out. So you'll be getting those pretty soon. I just 57 is the first Hawkeye, right? So I think that's that'll be coming up. Sorry, or I'm sorry. Did you want to say something?
No. I was going to ask a question of D-Bud. So D-Bud, this may seem a bit of a random question, but did you ever, back in the day, or even possibly currently, did you ever play any role-playing games by Palladium? By the Palladium system, Kevin Siembeda, he got the license to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Robotech and all those sorts of systems.
I think
back
I played
in the 80s and 90s.
Robotech once. There were several games I played in the late 80s. I played several different role-playing games.
Yeah.
The reason times I just kind of because we also sold those games in my stores.
Yeah.
So I used to play it with the guys that work with me, and we played like the Star Trek role-playing game.
Yeah.
And DC Heroes role-playing game was way, way better than the Marvel one was awful. The DC one was really good.
That's controversial.
I love the Marvel role-playing game.
That original Marvel one was awful.
I will tell you why I asked, though. All right. So the Palladium Systems, this guy Kevin Siembeda created this whole universe, right? And there was all these different games of different genres. Like there was a spy game and almost a Call of Cthulhu type game and a superhero game that I played a lot. And they had the license for Robotech and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and so on and so forth, right? So there are all these related games, and they're a lot of fun. But the format, like the format you've chosen to represent each page, reminds me of the way Palladium laid their books out. And it was a very effective and very easy to read, easy to follow, well organized format. And I thought, maybe you drew a little inspiration from that. But it just turns out you're an organizational genius anyway.
I'm an organizer type. I like to keep things organized and lists and all that stuff.
Definitely, it shows.
And you'll see at the end of the book the lists. But yeah, I wanted to make it really simple to read and understand and all this. But this suit is, I consider, again, like I said, the featurette's the new one because this has a couple different things. It has the center line rivets are gone. Mm-hmm. The seams and such on the upper part of the chest plate, they're all gone. And then he's got hip pods, which were not there before. He's got the hip pods, but they're a little smaller than what you used to, but they're there. And then, there was one other thing in there that's, the The other thing is in that little featurette, it's the first time it shows that the repulsor rays are built into the gloves.
Yeah, they're inside now.
Yeah. And then like you see in this illustration here, which is the same model, but it's a later submodel, which is why his helmet looks different. And because Kirby's drawing it too.
I think we're getting close. We're getting closer to the Iron Man that I like. I think
Yeah.
we're really close now.
But this
to the
is
one.
more, and then this picture here is from the featurette. This one on the bottom right,
Mhm.
and it shows there magnetic repulsors housed in palm of each iron glove. So that's the first time it says he's got built-in repulsors. But this model, this lasted a couple of years. This is the first one that actually lasted a while without them making major changes to the armor. There's just some minor ones. He does a lot of attachments, as you can see. There's this whole page is just
Yeah,
little
oh my
wrist
God.
attachments. That's all this is. This whole page, and they were all kind of like one-shot usage of this whatever this thing he's using. So it's like, oh, what do I need for the story? Oh, he's got that.
I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the utility belt of attachments.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But the armor, the general armor, he didn't do any major changes for a couple of years. The only things he really changed on this were, as you'll see, the next submodel is the helmet.
all right, so this is 5. No, what do we-
5A. This is
5A.
5A.
5A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is A because all he changes is the helmet. And in fact, I thought, God, I should have put the picture in. There's a splash page where he's working on the helmet with the rivets.
Mhm.
And he's talking, I want to experiment and see if I can make the helmet better. And then a couple issues later, they have this where they've gotten rid of the rivets on the helmet. And he says, yeah, he did that. And then he also improved the oxygen supply that the helmet has. So that's just the first modification on this Model 5.
This is this here is like super famous. Like this image.
What year are we talking, D-Bud? What year are we
These are
talking?
this is 65 or 66, these years. And then this is the second submodel. So this is 5B. And the difference here is he just changes the gloves to where they don't have the rivets on the knuckles. And you might have noticed that the knuckles they kind of had rivets right there at the
Oh
end.
yeah.
So they're gone in starting this issue, they're gone. And a lot of it's because Gene Colan's now the artist, although he's credited under his pseudonym, Adam Austin. But that's kind of now the armor's looking kind of like what it looks like for many years going forward. There's just little very minor changes.
Well, you can't improve on perfection, right? That it reached sort of it reached a state where aesthetically, I mean, obviously technologically it could get better, but aesthetically it was such a beautiful design.
Yep.
And you find that there's a I guess so many heroes and costumes, you know, they don't change because aesthetically they're perfect. Like Daredevil. Daredevil's costume changes a few times, but not often, because the aesthetics of it are perfect.
Very minor, yeah. And and plus, as far as merchandising and toys and stuff like that, you don't want to change it much.
No.
And this looks pretty much the same. This is the Model 6, but he creates a whole new set. It's going to be twice as powerful as the last one. He does there's little cosmetic changes in that the hip pods are a little bigger and flatter, and then the collar, the shoulder collars,
it's more out.
They stick out more. They're thicker looking. That's kind of the cosmetic change, but
do the hip pods disappear with the Silver Centurion? Because the Golden Avenger armor that comes after that, I don't know if I probably misused the name for it, but for example, during Burns' run on West Coast Avengers, there's no hip pods. But was it during the Silver Centurion phase that the hip pods went out?
That's when they dropped.
Yeah.
When that had that armor.
Because Rhodey was still using them in 1985.
Yes.
But yeah.
Because it was these carry through all the way through when Rhodey was Iron Man.
This is pretty much. I think we're pretty much at where I would say this is
And this is
like
the
this is
yeah,
Iron
and this is the
Man. Like,
last transistorized armor, because it was always the transistor powered,
yes.
which
Okay.
doesn't make
Well,
sense because transistors aren't power plants; they're switches.
but actually, no, that would have been in keeping with technological advancements in the real world, because the transistor was invented in the 50s, wasn't it? To replace the vacuum tube. And then you don't get the integrated circuit till
To
when do you get
this
that? Yeah.
suit
It's
here, which is in 68, I think 67 or 68 is when they go to integrated circuits.
Yeah,
And
but you
this
haven't really got microchips till the 70s that
oh
are
yeah,
really
yeah, it's
commercially
much later,
available.
yeah. But this
Isn't
was
that amazing?
they had
How it
the printed
parallels.
circuits. Printed circuits is what he went
Yeah.
to. So,
Incredible how it parallels. Like this obviously is not happening today, but this is that how Iron Man's development, that there was enough thought and care put into it at the time to parallel real world developments in technology, right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because
things that were changing the world.
They knew that was happening. So, gee, we need to make Iron Man have that. They knew about integrated circuits, so that, yeah, we make him that way. And this was the first armor I saw, of course, because issue 6 was my first issue, and this model lasted for like 4 or 5 years. So this one lasted a long time.
Yeah, like this is Iron Man. Like we're at a point now
This
where
is
I'm
Iron
looking at this. I'm like, this is the real, what I would call, oh yeah, that's the real Iron Man, or even whatever's on my background image in the middle. Like that's like sort of this is the real Iron Man at this point for me. Like if someone says, what does Iron Man look like? I would think of this, and that's what I would draw, right? Like, so this is where we're at with, but now I remember I'm not reading any of these. I saw what was that 240? What did you say mine was? The 249 or what was it?
249 was when you talked about, with the Dr. Doom.
That's the only one I had. Now, I loved that armor because I thought look cool. And I also love the Silver Centurion armor, but again, Silver Centurion armor because that was in the Marvel role-playing game. And that armor because that was the comics that the only comic I had of Iron Man. So I would draw Iron Man, and whenever I would draw him, it would be that armor with those bigger boots, or which we'll see.
But you'll see that, yeah. And the funny thing, like with this one, when I was doing the research on this and kind of looking at it, it's like I found that there was a lot of stories with this particular suit that kind of carried through the whole time it was being used. That he'd have these circuitry issues going on where all of a sudden, his repulsors wouldn't work or his boot jets wouldn't work because, he'd either get just from explosions or dealing with heat-based foes and things like that. He kept having all these circuitry problems. And I think that's funny. It kind of went through this whole lifetime of this particular suit. That constantly was happening in the stories. So that's weird. It actually fits with this being a model because it kept having that same problem.
All right. Teething problems with the new circuits.
It's unusual. It's like, wow, all through this. And it's like this, even though there were different writers, it's just that they had the same thing going on with the suit.
I mean, this is the thing with these. It's like the web shooters don't work, or there's always got to be some kind of thing like, it's like, oh, I'm out of the web fluid. Oh, well,
yeah, but that was but that last model, this Model 7, was a consistent thing. It was weird. And then that stopped when he went to this model, which is Model 8. And this had he changed it to being solar charged so that he wouldn't have as many issues with, having to recharge and all that.
Okay, yeah.
It explicitly goes into that. And as you can probably tell by that picture, there's a submodel on this one that involves the infamous nose. So this Model 8 is the solar powered one, but Model 8A has the nose.
Yeah, and I think so. The story I heard was that like Stan was walking around. He's like, "Oh, how come Iron Man doesn't have a nose?" And then people misinterpreted that as, "Oh, he should have a nose." And then Stan Lee later, this is what I heard. Then later, Stan Lee said something like, "Why does he have a nose? That looks weird." And so I don't know, like, why is there, like, what was that? Do you know, or any clue of like why?
I don't know why they added. I think they just wanted to do something a little different and see what because they probably thought, yeah, it is kind of odd that he doesn't have a nose on his nameplate like like Doctor Doom does. Doctor Doom has a nose on his faceplate.
Right.
So let's put one on Iron Man. And, fan reaction was yuck. So they got rid of it after about a year.
Maybe the nose makes him look sort of. I think it adds to Doctor Doom's sort of evil, twisted look. Sort of the nose, like it's not like the nose feature. It makes him look sort of more like a horror feature because Doctor Doom, of course, is kind of a horror character, really, compared to Iron Man.
Yeah,
like Iron Man's about technology as something useful and powerful and helpful, and technology's good. Whereas Doctor Doom is like technology in its most twisted form, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always imagined his like Doctor Doom. I always felt it was like closer to him. Like Iron Man's more like it's protection, so you want your nose out there getting broken. Like it's like concealed, and it's like not Doctor Doom. He's wearing it
to hide
almost
his face.
As his face.
Yeah.
Right. Like
it's hiding his face. It's not protection. Like it's not.
Well, no,
he doesn't wear the armor for that primary purpose.
The armor is his face. Like the armor, J-Man had got it right. That Doom, the image Doom wants to project is the armor, whereas Iron Man's armor is both a weapon and a disguise. Doom's armor is not a disguise. Doom's armor is his persona. This is me. I'm a powerful ruler. It's literally he's a man of steel, right? As in like a Stalin figure, right? Man of steel. So anyway, sorry, but you're saying.
No, we're about to get to the submodel 8A, and I mean story wise, he's battling the Mandarin. He's got a deep sea base. It's in like the Mariana Trench, and he gets the shields plexiglass shields he has in his helmet for when he's underwater get cracked because of the pressure at that depth. Says, I'm going to have to do something about this. And that's when he modifies the helmet to have the stronger mouth and eye shields. But at the same time, he says, I'll just put a nose on there. So story-wise, that's why they added it. And, of course, fan reaction was no.
Wait. No, it was so he could do cocaine while he was in the suit.
That's right. Yeah,
just like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. This looks super weird, man. Like, oh dear, it's like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's about what, like, probably 99.9% of readers felt. It was like, nah.
I kind of like that face, though. That's kind of a No Man Thunder Agents vibe. I
was going to say, it looks, but
that picture, it looks okay, but that's kind of not how it looked in most issues.
But also it's creepy. It looks like a villain face or something. Like I don't know. It just looks like a horror movie mask or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's kind of the vibe it gives.
Like it's like I'm thinking like I don't know. Like I'm trying. It looks like someone. It's not Ghostface or something, but it's like something weird. It's a horror character.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah.
And all these covers are just that. That's.
And I used to have that cover of back that one on the right there, that Kirby cover, issue 80. I used to have a T-shirt of that, and you were saying like you were big before and you can't wear the shirts. Yeah. I was smaller then, so I can't. It was just like a size S, so I can't wear it now.
Phil Owens has a great comment in the chat. Have you seen it, Iron Man?
I guess you could say Iron Man's nose didn't run for long.
Now he must take an antihistamine to get rid of it.
Oh my! Here, where's my? What do I have? Well, how about Avon?
Avon, yeah.
Slow clap.
I've been watching my Blake 7 Blu-rays.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Iron Man, yes.
Oh, and then this one issue. This is a Model 9. He gets the old nose suit gets damaged. He has a backup suit that he's wearing because Happy Hogan's in it and gets injured in it. And he wears a backup one that gets trashed. So he builds this new one and he decides to make it a fast suit up process. So he makes it super thin. And he said, well, because of that, I had to get rid of the nose, which is more like, no, people didn't like it, so I'm getting rid of the nose.
Right.
One thing I'll say about this picture here where he's going through it is, doesn't that look like Pedro Pascal to you?
Oh, great! Now he's gonna be Iron Man. That's good. Like I don't like
I was looking at this again before this, and I'm like, oh my god, he looks just like Pedro in that picture.
Why couldn't he shave his mustache for Fantastic Four? It's just like a weird. It's just. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, but I love that there's no pants. I was gonna say.
I just had to point that out, though. It just looks so much like him. Like, oh god.
So if I don't scroll down, you can be like, my suit will have no pants. I don't need them anymore. No, it has pants.
Yeah. Now the problem with this suit is because it's thin. He said, well, it's going to be a little bit more vulnerable because I had to make it really thin to be this kind of shirt-like thing. And yeah, it just almost every issue that he wears this, it gets just trashed.
Right.
It gets pummeled by all these different characters, and so this actually it doesn't last all that long because he keeps just getting it trashed. So
but see, it still looks the same. Like
it looks the same. Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to tell, right? Like if I was if I'm reading it and he says I've making it thinner, so that's a new model. But if you just looked at it and say, hey, this looks like the same.
Yeah. I mean, cosmetically, all these last several models all look the same, exactly the same, and even the next couple of them really do.
Iron Man.
Yeah. But I mean, he just gets it trashed. So he builds Model 10 where he's okay, I'm going to go back to a stronger normal type one. I'll get rid of the fast suit up. The only problem with this model is that it only lasts for 3 issues. Because he gets, as you can see, he fights Ultimo.
Yeah.
And this is in this first story. And he gets injured in the battle from Ultimo basically just squeezes him, and it causes him to have his heart problem comes up again. Because at this point in his history, he'd had surgery back in one of the ones I think you read, which is U19.
Mm-hmm.
He had synthetic tissues put in, but because he was fighting, it was stressing it out. So he still wore his pacemaker. But kind of like the end of the Model 7 armor, he's kind of healed from it and he doesn't need the pacemaker. So he actually got rid of it in Model 8 and Model 9. He didn't have it. And in Model 10, he doesn't have it. But he develops a problem because of Ultimo squeezing him so hard, his heart issue comes back. So he only wears this armor for 3 issues. So this is kind of this Model 10 one is a weird one because it only lasts for like one story practically.
Right.
It's just the Ultimo is a 2-issue story, and then he comes back to the plant and has to deal with something. So it's only those 3 issues. So hardly anything's used in it. So it has very few systems that you can see.
You could do all the models that he's had, not armor, just the models he's dated. Yeah, try doing that one.
Just during the particular issues I have, yeah.
It's the Cindy Crawford issue.
Well, the girl he was seeing when I first started buying the comic got killed in it, so that was sad. So then this Model 11 is the last one before the cannibalized armor. Right. This does have some submodels to it, but this is the last one that he builds before all the stuff happens with Rhodey becoming Iron Man and all that. So he has to put the pacemaker back in. It's kind of the big thing on this, which is why it's a new model. But this actually lasts a long time, this model also. This is also the best documented of all the models, not just because it lasts so long and he demonstrates so much with it, but there is and I've got a picture of it in here. There's a scan. They're captured by, I'm forgetting their names.
Here you go.
These characters they're from Thor. I'm blanking out of their names, and they do a scan of him. So you see this whole scan of his armor, and it shows a bunch of aspects of it. Some things which contradict what he says when he's building it. Like he says, "Oh, I had to get rid of the thermocouple," and it goes, "No, you don't." It says he has it here, and the picture where he's saying that shows it applying the thermocouple to it. So, that's just the writer being wrong. So I kind of had to ignore the writer on that part, but yeah, this this one lasted a long time, had all these systems in it, documented by this, and then of course through the issues. But again, it looks the same as the previous models.
Yeah, so all these things are now just internal changes.
Yeah.
Like someone who's just casually looking at covers would say that, wow, the last like long time it's been the same Iron Man.
Like
now.
over 100 issues, it's been the same. Yeah, it looks the same other than the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why this Iron Man is like in my head. Like this is Iron Man in my head, right?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the 70s, basically, you had the same thing.
And now, this is I have this issue.
Yeah, and this is just the changes to the gloves and the boots have more of the striations or seams or whatever in those. That they just have more of them added to. That's all.
I think this is better.
Cosmetic. Yeah, so it's just a submodel because it's just cosmetic changes to those things.
Yeah, I like this better. Like I like now. This is where it's becoming. There's an artist. What's the artist that comes?
Well, on this is John Romita Jr. is actually doing the pencil art, but he's really kind of doing more like the layouts. Bob Layton really did the finished art on
that's what I was thinking.
Bob Layton is the name I was thinking. So
this is really Bob Layton's art. Romita was kind of just doing, and this is Romita Jr. He was just doing like the basic layouts.
Mm-hmm.
I think Layton was doing a lot more of the finished art and then the inking, of course. He definitely did the inking, but I think he was doing a lot of the pencil art on all this.
So I saw one of my buddies on this channel is Steve from Comics Asylum, and he wrote a couple of comics. And a link to his channels in the description of this video. And he talked to Bob Layton just recently. I actually invited him on today to see if he could come on because he had just talked to him at whatever Comic Con they were, and they were talking about Iron Man and specifically in saying like, putting the shine, kind of putting that shine effect on the armor, make it like. I was like, oh yeah, and you don't think of that, right? Like I didn't think of that, right?
But did yeah, I mean that's why I mean I absolutely love the two runs that Michelini and Layton did because not only were the stories really good, but Layton's artwork on it because it was his inking.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked him with Mark Bright on the second run that they did. I actually preferred that to the Romita Jr. Layton run here. I think that his combining with Mark Bright's pencils was peak. That was the best, really good.
So,
but he did give it that look that made it look like it was shiny metal.
To you, cool. He's definitive. Would you say? The Bob Layton's the definitive Iron Man artist.
Yeah, George Tesco was my first Iron Man artist. I still love that, but Layton is really the definitive one for me. He really made Iron Man look like Iron Man. He looked like he was in metal armor, and also I think he was the one that was really driving the different armors that you saw, because there's all these specialty models which are coming up now. This is just that this Model B of this came about because of the whole Demon in a Bottle storyline where Justin Hammer took over his armor using like a hypersonic beam to screw up with the armor and take control of it. So he had to create a new refractory coating for the armor. Right. So that's why this is a submodel, because that is a major kind of change to it. But this model gets destroyed by Obadiah Stane's Rook, which is like this story, and it just he melts the armor basically and totally destroys it. So after that story is when he wear the cannibalized armor, and I can't identify things on that. Plus, I hated that era. So, but then you have this is the first, and you can see behind me is that same cover, but in a metal.
Oh yeah. I know what it is.
It's kind of hard for it's back there, but it's the exact same cover. But this is the
that
specialty
looks cool.
armor. This was the first one that they did with Layton, where it's specifically for space flight. He could actually fly from the ground into space.
Wow!
With this one, and re-enter from space.
That
And
is cool.
of course, it has much more of an oxygen supply. It has some special weapons and utility things that are for space. That was a great storyline. I don't
Then-
I
count
see
this
what's
as
coming.
a
I
model.
see what's coming next.
And
I
this
was
is the
looking,
stealth
waiting for
armor.
that.
The first
stealth armor.
first stealth armor. This was, his another specialty armor, which this is what I loved about Leighton is he was driving these, I'm sure. And these I'm not counting these as models. These are
Yes.
special armors. They're special purpose armors. They're not his everyday armor suit. Those are the ones that are models. These are specialty suits. So you've got space armor, stealth armor. There's a second one in this run of books that I cover of the stealth armor, which we'll see later. And there's another one coming up as well. Then after this Model 12 is the first one that Stark creates after his long bout of alcoholism. And he comes back, he works on this just as he states he's just doing as kind of a form of therapy. And he's also starting to work on the Model 13 armor, which you don't know about yet. But this was his it's the gray recovery suit armor is what I call it, because it looks similar to the original suit. It's very similar in appearance to it. A little bit different with the gloves and the boots look different, which is enough to distinguish the two. And it has some limited capabilities. It's not a real full suit of armor. It doesn't have any really bells and whistles. It's kind of just got the stripped down basics on it. And so this actually lasts a few issues. He wears it for a little bit before it gets destroyed. And then we get on to the one
I just want to comment.
This Silver Centurion armor.
Yeah, before you say that, right? Because J-Man would know, because I got to ask. But because my impression with those specialty armors, because we're looking at the late 70s, early 80s now, is they still hadn't quite cottoned on to the idea of marketing these as toys, had they? Or am I wrong? Had they actually figured that out?
No, they didn't have. They didn't really have toys for these until it was when they did the Iron Man cartoon in the early 90s. That's when they came out with toys like those.
What a missed opportunity!
I have some over here.
Yeah,
what
I
a
think the
missed
Secret
opportunity,
Wars toy. That's what's the first? Is that Secret Wars? So I have the Secret Wars toy. So do you in the package.
So do I. Yes. Yeah.
Is that?
I have the original Secret Wars one.
That's me too. I have the original Secret Wars one.
As far as I don't recall seeing they had a little Iron Man toy that was like this, but it was just it wasn't a like a
PVC
one.
or whatever.
It was just it was like a plastic thing of it back in the late 60s that you could send away for
Iron Man.
But I don't recall seeing an Iron Man action figure until the Secret Wars one.
Yeah, because I just think it's such a missed opportunity. How many little boys around the world would have been like, "Oh, Iron Man's got a new armor. Oh, I've got fantastic. I've got to have that." You know what I mean? Like that's to me, it seems like a huge missed opportunity.
The Migos
for Marvel
those existed, but they weren't. They weren't fully. They were cloth. They had cloth and stuff. They weren't like the plastic ones that were the posable type of ones that we're used to now. But yeah, the
articulated ones.
Yeah, right, articulated.
Yeah, so Silver Centurion. This is kind of my kind of favorite, sort of, but not really. I like the regular Iron Man costume, but I always thought this was like the next coolest one. Just I don't know why. This was in the
Marvel
I know why.
It's awesome.
Yeah, well, it is.
It looks great. It was. I think they were going for. They wanted to go for sort of like a ninja look.
Mm-hmm.
That like you have with those big shoulder epaulets that he has.
Yeah.
I mean, more like a mecha look, maybe.
They were trying. Well, they wanted it to have like a Japanese sort of. Look
yeah.
Was the idea, and they kind of backed off a little bit, I think, from the original concept and trying to make it more like an armor, but it does have that kind of look to it.
It's a real
And-
It's a warrior look.
And it first time you really saw it was actually in West Coast Avengers #1.
Yeah, that's I've
That
got.
came
Yeah.
out before Iron Man 200 did. Now you did see part like he has, I think, like the gloves appear in Iron Man 196. He uses that to do something. I forget exactly. So you actually see those gloves first, but then the full suit you see, of course, in 200. And I knew he was going to come back as Iron Man in issue 200. So I was just waiting out that period, going, God, I hate these things. When are they going to get to 200? So I can go back to dark.
So who was editor in chief at that time? So what year are we talking here? Like, is this the Shooter era or after Shooter?
I'm not gonna know. I don't know any. I'm the
I
worst
think
with dates.
Shooter was still there.
It's Shooter until
Yeah, Shooter was
87, I
around-
think.
Yeah, this was right. Yeah, he's 80. This was 86, 85, 86.
So
is
Shooter,
when-
you think, would have made them plan it out. He would have said to them, he was a kind of guy.
No, it's just issue 200.
You don't think so?
You knew he was going to come back in issue
Yeah,
200.
but don't you think Shooter, knowing what he was like I've listened to some interviews with that guy, and just knowing what he was like, he would have said to a writer, "Where is this story going? How is it going to?" Like he made people think through
I
their
think that
ideas.
whole thing, I think they knew they were going to go back to Tony, and it was obviously going to be in issue 200. Just as a reader, I knew that was going to happen. It was too obvious, just because of when they were doing it, and the fact that 200th issue was coming up. You knew it was going to happen, and it was sort of obvious. But I'm sure he made sure that they were working towards that, and that they were developing certain things in that, because there's stuff that started with that gets finished like about a year after this, where it kind of culminates in, which was actually a really good story. I like the way they did it.
Phil is saying Shooter was editor in chief.
Yeah, he would have been, yeah, because this was 85 or 86 when he gets to this armor.
Real quick, remember, guys, this is a free download through the pinned link, so make sure you grab that. Also, we're streaming this tomorrow. Sean couldn't make it tonight, but we're still streaming to his channel. So if you're watching through Sean's channel, please make sure you're subscribed to me. I'd really appreciate it. We have very similar content. We do lots of live streams together. Well, we don't really overlap each other, so similar content, but nothing that really overlaps. And if you're watching this on my channel and you're not subscribed to Sean, please give Sean a subscription. He comes on. He's not on tonight, but he's on every other night usually. So trust me, he's a good guy. So give him a sub.
He's a good guy.
They're like the brave and the bold, J-Man and Sean. They're like the brave and the bold.
Well, Silverson, I mean, this is
I'm sorry he couldn't be here. I'm disappointed he couldn't be here. But yeah, this armor is, I mean, it was great. It has that trapezoidal.
Yeah.
Cool.
That looks nice.
Angular.
The other thing is the introduction of his the pulse bolts, which kind of become his secondary weapon. Because the repulsors have been his primary weapon since Tales of Suspense, but then the pulse bolts became his second weapon that he used through the rest of the era that I'm covering here. And he had this chameleon effect.
Yeah.
The flight, you see, he's got that trail as he flies. That was unique to this armor, in the way that you see that trail of him flying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the
pulse bolts. There you go.
Yeah.
I like these, like this, like oval, like.
I think it was around that time or just before then, because I guess the Simonson run was ending in 86, isn't it? Simonson run on Thor is ending, and Simonson drew the Titanium Man. A really classic Iron Man villain. There's a storyline with the Titanium Man and these veterans who he has given these suits of armor to. And I don't know, you would know, D-Bud, but did Simonson ever do any work on Iron Man? Because I think his style would have been incredible with that the aesthetic of Iron Man.
Only he was a guest in. He'd be a guest star in something that Simonson did. God, what was it? I think there was a couple of there was maybe a Thor issue, or there was another one. Can't think of what it is.
Well,
that Iron Man was just like a guest star in it, so he was in a few panels, but it wasn't.
It's a shame.
He never drew Iron Man, a whole issue of him.
The Titanium Man drawn by Simonson and the other armored characters, especially Titanium Man though, is incredibly menacing. Like he draws him, and he's quite.
Yeah, that Titanium Man did look. Yeah, that was pretty cool looking the way he did it.
Yeah,
but I have Titanium Man back there as well.
But
and Crimson Dynamo.
Let's admire though the Silver Centurion. Look, it's got a Kirby Crackle device.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I can produce Kirby Crackle. Damn, Iron Man.
It's actually a force field, but it looks like Kirby.
Isn't it a thing of beauty though? Isn't it a thing of beauty? Look at those lines. This must be Bob Layton, eh?
Actually, no. That one wasn't, but a lot of this other stuff is.
Look at it.
Mark Bright is actually the penciler on a lot of this stuff here, but Layton, you can see Layton ink some of this others, like that picture at the top there is Layton.
Oh, magic!
These are great, yeah.
But yeah, this is there you go. This 206, that's Mark Bright penciling. I don't know the inker offhand, but 215, that's the first issue when that's the second Michelini Layton run. And Layton actually did like a cover. He inked over a cover a couple issues before this. But like this issue, this storyline kind of closes off some of the stuff that had come from the Rhodey as Iron Man era. And that it's a kind of a nice close to that.
This is the best font, though, I'll tell you. Like, this is the real font.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this. This is rubbish. This is awesome. Like this Iron Man.
Rivets.
Way better.
Rivets.
Yeah, the rivets are awesome.
That era though of Iron Man. That's like the second great age of it with the Tube doing it again. And like I said, I actually preferred this art to the other era because I think Mark Bright, Layton inking Bright looked much better. But this was another specialty armor, the Deep Sea armor. And I have a figure of that down there too.
Oh, awesome.
Like J-Man, this is the era of the interchangeable toys, like on cartoons. The Centurions, right? Looking at that, doesn't Centurions scream at you?
I had Centurions.
Yeah, Transformers,
and they
Inhumanoids.
Had toys for these at that time, but they did like I said,
what a
come
miss.
With these in the early '90s when the cartoon came out, and that's actually I have a Deep Sea armor down there. That's from it's at the very bottom there next to the Hulkbuster one.
Oh, I see it actually. I do see it
by the pillow and the guitar.
Yep,
below Clobby. There's a Hulkbuster, and to the left of it is the Deep Sea armor.
Yeah, hey, I have that Vulture too. By the way, Vulture's my favorite. Vulture's my favorite Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that on Nick's when we were covering the old Spider-Man issues, and we thought, man, I'd love to have one of the Vulture. I'm like, and somebody said, oh yeah, there is one. I'm like, that's right. I remember they did have one. So
did you like the MCU Vulture? Did you like Michael Keaton's?
I like the actor.
I did. It wasn't the comic book Vulture though. So
no,
it
worked for me, but
I've got a big statue of Vulture too. It's a big statue.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, the toe right there. There's my Iron Man stuff, sort of. You can.
Yep.
Yeah,
can see that.
You can see some of it sticking out or whatever, but not that much. Nothing compared. I'm new to all of this. This is why I asked for the book too, because I started doing these. See, this Iron Man with this font, this Silver Centurion, this is what I really wanted to buy for the comics. But then I thought, let me just go from the beginning and start from there. But this is what I was the most interested in because I like this Silver Centurion Iron Man. I like the font. I like these covers. They all look cool to me. And then after this, I had that one issue or maybe 2 issues of Iron Man. I could actually try to find. I'll try to find.
Well,
them.
they have the Epic collection.
Yes, I've got all those on digital.
Yeah, that they covered a lot of this. So
yeah, I've got. Yeah, you can get a lot of these.
Yeah, this one is. This is a sub. I called this a sub model 13A, and specifically, even though it's a change to the chest plate, I actually have the picture here. If you scroll down on this page, where it shows him actually modifying the existing chest plate, and
I
he says he
see.
kind of trims it down, and he has to get rid of the chameleon circuit,
Right.
and he decides to put in some other circuitry in it. But since he's explicitly shown doing that and not creating a new suit, I went, okay, well then this is a submodel. That's kind of the only exception I had to the rule, and only because they explicitly show it. But
They
yeah,
missed out a lot of the
even though
villains.
this did not look like the classic Iron Man armor, I really like this armor.
Oh yeah, me too. Loved it.
There's U.S. Agent. Oh, finger lasers. Boom. That's cool. Is that Guardian there? Yeah.
And look at oh god that
No, not to be
beautiful
confused
blatant
with
art.
Vindicator from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these are all neat, and I think I have some of these. Oh, this one here. Was it this one? There's some of these that came with toys. Like some of the figures came with Guardsman. Sorry, not Guardian. Guardsman. Yeah, Guardsman. Some of these came with comics.
Good
Some of the
catch, classic.
Yeah, good catch. That's my. I had the toy of Guardsman. I thought he was a cool toy, like
Yeah,
the smaller.
I have a guardsman back there too.
It's a cool design, isn't it? It's a great design.
I
It's
feel
sort
like
of
they messed up
insectoid,
the
but
movies without getting a lot of. They could have done way more Iron Man movies, and all of the villains are super cool, and they didn't really use them.
Well, and you'll see
odd.
the guardsman. You haven't read that. I don't think you've read the original guardsman stories, because
No.
the guardsman was actually a friend of Iron Man's who knew who he was.
Oh,
Who originally wears the guardsman armor, but stuff happens.
mhm.
But you'll get to that much later.
Yeah. Stealth armor model 2. So here you go. Yep, stealth armor.
Hey, Dave C. Yeah,
Was
this
it-
is the
this-
second. This is a stealth armor, but this is a second model. This is a different. It's different than the other one, because the other one had no offensive weaponry whatsoever.
Mhm.
I mean, he had stripped down to simply be stealth as much as possible. But this, he did have some limited repulsors and such on it, and it's actually worn by. Oh God, what's his name? Clay something, who was who's Force, the villain Force, who reforms and works for Stark.
Oh,
And that's him wearing this armor in later issues. And then after the Silver Centurion armor ended with the Armor Wars
right.
storyline,
Yeah.
and he pretends to that the guy wearing Iron Man armor was killed, and then this is a brand new Iron Man.
Now,
And this was this
Yeah.
retro. They called it the retro classic at the time.
so this
and
this would
a
be my
nice
top
game.
3. So now we're at there's the regular Iron Man costume that I already said that's sort of what Iron Man is, and then Silver Centurion. This one, those are my 3. This one, I drew many pictures of this because this is what he's going to be wearing around I think around the time where I knew about Iron Man, and I had that one issue or one or two, and I had a shirt of this. So I actually had a T-shirt of this costume. I don't know. I thought it was really neat. I don't know. It seems like sleeker for some reason, and I like kind of
Byrne draws this beautifully in West Coast Avengers during his
yeah.
run.
Again, West
That's
Coast
the
Avengers
armor.
is the costume
Yeah, he did do a
Yeah.
good job on that. Yeah. Yeah,
He's right in it
liked-
too,
I really
right?
like the look of this armor. Unfortunately, it was only the first issue, which is what that picture's from, that Mark Bright was still the penciler. They changed pencilers the next issue, and I mean that guy's good too, Jackson Guys, but it didn't. The combination of him and Leighton didn't look as good to me.
Mhm.
But I mean that's a personal taste, but it still looked good, just not quite it wasn't quite as crisp to me. But it had a lot of modular systems and such. You could have wrist attachments for things like you see him kind of doing things on here where he's spraying different things. He had a deep space one that he could attach to it to go up into space, of course.
Who's the new Iron Man? I don't
I
know.
wonder who, yeah. And then we get to the last one that this book covers, which is Model 15, and this is when they were ripping off Fatal Attraction or whatever, where the crazy girlfriend shoots Tony Stark and he becomes paralyzed. And so he has to build it's the same looking armor, but he's made it so that he can move his legs and such in it. So it's, he's able to function normally within the armor because it does a mental commands as far as movement. So he's able to move. But other than that, it looks exactly the same as that previous armor. And this is, like I said, this is where I stopped covering the armors. At this point, this is at the very end, you'll see some John Romita Jr. art on this. It's like these panels here, this one on the left. And then Byrne started writing the book right after this. At that point, it would be like a submodel because he introduced some cyber circuits to it to where he could fly the suit remotely and things. I kind of mentioned a little bit at the end just to close out this model. But at this point, I stopped covering it. I didn't like what Byrne did. I'd stop wanting to catalog it at that point. It's like, that's good. I'm done here.
This I drew this picture. I have somewhere in my notebook a picture of this. I drew this exact picture. So I must have had that issue or something. I do like Gray. I also like Grey Hulk. I like all of the weird versions because I like Black Suit Spider-Man. I like Grey Hulk. I like Silver Centurion, Iron Man. It's like all of the sort of player 2. If you're playing a video game, and there's player 1, and then if you pick the same character in your player 2, they recolored it so you could tell who you are when you're playing it. And it's almost like it's just because when I was
Red Hulk too.
I don't like Red Hulk though. I don't like
different character, right? Very different character.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, it's got to be the same guy. Like I'm not a big fan of someone else being Iron Man either. Because I like War Machine, so I don't want Tony to be War Machine, and I don't want Rhodey to be Iron Man. So
right, yeah,
like it's just that's Anyway, and I always find it never works the other way. Like you're right. It's like they can't, it's like it doesn't. You can't go back. Like is Steve Rogers going to be Falcon or whatever? Like it's like no. Okay, so part 2, the weapons.
Yeah. So part 1, that's just going through all the different models and listing what each model has, each weapons and such. This part just goes by looking at it by weapons. Right. So, and it's kind of breaks it up into how much they're used. Like beginning these systems here in this first couple pages are just the weapons or systems that are in every single suit of armor.
Right. Yeah,
every one of them has some form of these, like boot jets, the repulsor, even though, the original one, it's just a magnet with it's just a turbo magnet. It's still the repulsor. He calls it his repulsor. So every suit of armor had some form of repulsor, be it, a handheld magnet, slide on discs, or the built-in ones. There was always a searchlight, some kind, radio. Yeah. Every single one had that. This next one is all the systems that were in most of the armors. And for one suit, which is Model 10, which, like I said, at that time, it only lasted 3 issues. It was like one story where he just gets injured in the first story. I have to kind of assume that model probably had all the systems that the Model 9 and the Model 11 had. Right. You just didn't get to see them because it didn't last long. So, some of anything that was in a short-lived suit, but it was in the previous and following suits, that it was probably in those too. So there's several different systems here. I kind of lumped some things together, like all the various computers and sensors and things kind of as one.
Roller skates,
pacemakers, different forms of roller skates. He had, some had little jets on them. Some were just regular. Some of them were 4-wheel. Some were 2-wheel. But, he just had roller skates of some kind and a lot of them.
Yeah, Unibeam, Sonics, wow, magnetic adhesion, cooling system, helmet optics, drill.
And I tried to pick, different pictures than what I had in the original section. These are all different pictures. So
Mhm.
there might have been pictures of drills on the various models, but this is like a separate one. I'm like, it's a good drill picture. So I'll put it in this section.
Weapon system use only. Okay, so now we're into just a
These-
few models.
Yeah, these are just like a handful.
Did
like
you
3 or
mention the
4, but more
Unibeam?
than one.
Yeah, Unibeam was there.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
Unibeam.
the Unibeam. Because I tell you, one of the best moments in Captain America: Civil
There
War is where he uses the Unibeam to blast Bucky's arm off. Like that was an oh shit moment in that film. It was. I mean, that's a great Marvel movie. I love that movie, Civil War.
Civil War. I don't know. I don't like Iron Man in Civil War. That we could talk. Let's just finish this. Like I want to.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
In time
Whole
because
other thing,
I gotta end in,
Yeah.
in about half an hour, and then we can do like free for all.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry.
Yeah, so these are some of them are ones that just appear like the pulse bolts are just in the last few models because it was new. Some are just kind of randomly in just a few odd ones, but these are ones that just were more than just once.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the last part is all the one-shot weapons. And what I did on this,
I love this.
This one specific one though is like I don't know what to make of this because he pulls this weapon out in Avengers 12, and he pulls this one out in Tales of Suspense 72. So this one here, the Tales of Suspense one, he doesn't name what it is. You don't know what he just blasts it with it. You don't know if it's the same weapon, but he pulls it out of the same part of his suit.
Right.
So like this could be the same weapon, but they don't really say what's what, and it's the same model, so it might be the same one.
Right.
But other than that, everything else other than this, it's all one-shot weapons. And I just say, well, this issue is what it was used in. This
is crazy. This is actually more awesome than the. So I didn't read up to this part. I just went through the models because that was what I was like the most interested in. But this is actually even crazier because it's like every damn time he's used some weird thing is here. This is awesome. Like, yeah, like, Model 2, Tales of Suspense 44, this one appearance thing. It's so weird. Look at all these weird weapons. This is crazy. I love it. Look at that. Oh my God. Electro stun ray. Like, okay.
Iron Man's one-shot wonders.
Well, I mean, This is awesome. The one hit one, the one-shot wonders. One-shot weapons. Look at this. No, this gun is awesome. And it's like, what the hell? Like, what is this? This is like some sort of.
You should know. You did this issue.
I know. I read this issue, but I forgot what this was.
It's just a propeller.
It's just a propeller. Yes.
And he pops it on and then he go through the water.
Goes through the water. Yeah. It's all of these weird attachments. Well, a lot of this stuff.
They didn't. Phil Owens is mentioning the intravenous alcohol feed that was in the armor. It wasn't documented in the issues, so I couldn't include it. But yeah, it was there.
Oh, Phil, you're gonna get another. That is awesome.
Phil.
These are great though. Mini fire extinguisher.
And what I had a spreadsheet because I was listing all the different weapons and what models they were in, and then I kind of sorted all that by model to see what was what, and to find all these and classify this whole section where I say, okay, this one's in a few, this was just one shots, and all that. So that's just the weapons part, and then this last part is all the comics. So this is going through every single issue based on the order from Olszewski's index, and then my own from Iron Man 117 on, because his ended at 117. And this is essentially the list that I originally did. I just list every single issue here in his order, and then mine, and just this is what weapons were used in every single issue. And there's a bunch of them here where you see just the jets and the repulsors, jets, repulsors, just the boot jets, just the repulsors, but it's all detailed all through this.
Wow, this is crazy.
And this was the original thing I did. I can't remember how long that took me, but I had to get through all the books, read them all, Oh,
Tales
there's that.
to
Yeah.
Astonish. Wow. Yeah. So this is in order of a I guess of
Of his
reading
appearance,
order.
yeah, of how the it's how he worked. This Olszewski's worked out how he was because he's also appearing in like Avengers,
Right.
and if he was in guest starring in certain
Yeah.
books,
Spider-Man annual.
yeah. Now, it didn't include. This doesn't include absolutely every single Iron Man appearance.
Mhm.
There are some where he was just like cameos, and
Yeah.
like the
Sure. Oh,
only
look, it's
thing,
the Avengers, and
yeah,
he's standing there.
he's
Right.
standing
Like,
there, yeah. Or he might just be flying in the background. Well,
yeah.
not really doing anything, and it's certainly nothing new. He's not using any new weapons. He's just using those cameos or guest appearances. He'd just be flying or using his repulsors, like he does in most of his issues, as you'll see here.
Yeah, look at this.
And there's even some where
Wow.
he uses no weaponry.
So that was a big one. This one, because that's a lot of appearances of this. And then Mark. So this is 8, right? So what are we? So
Yeah.
8's in a lot too, right? Yeah, look at that. And then 8A. Oh, we got to take a pill break here. I'm on several meds after my various ailments that I have. It's like 8.
Yeah.
I do 8 a day.
Oh, good grief! That's just, my mother takes almost that many, and she's 92.
No.
We want you to be staying alive, there, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
2 more. I got 2 left for the day, and they'll be in half an hour. So, okay. So yeah, model. Yeah. Okay. So I want to get to. Let's see. Where's some of the? Yeah. So all of these still look pretty much the same. So this is real. I mean, this is Godzilla. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Godzilla. Yeah, if
I
he's
gotta
a guest
recharge my
star,
stuff,
if he guest stars in the book, he's in there. But if it's just a cameo, he might not.
Phil really. So Phil, did you grab it on the free? Make sure you grab a free PDF. It's out there for everybody to take. So
Yes,
take it.
Please, yeah. I want people to have it, enjoy it.
Share it. It's better. It's better than. It's better. Well, it's definitely better than anything Marvel would produce, because theirs would be like probably have errors in it, but also it would be like slightly overproduced, where it's like the whole thing is just busy and you can't tell what's going on. I just want to know like how it's organized, just like what RR was saying, like the organization of it. It's like, okay, here's the armors.
I mentioned
right?
they did a comic called the Iron Manual in I think it was the early 90s. And they had all this fancy technical stuff in it, which wasn't ever in the comics.
I'm looking at it now.
And mark wise, they would go, "Oh, this is Mark II, Mark III." It's like, well, no, it's not. There's all sorts of ones where he's explicitly doing a new model. They just all look the same, and they're just counting them as ones. They're like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
you're not really going through these and saying, yeah, this is. I mean, he explicitly says, "Oh, I totally redid the armor to make it solar charged." Well, that's a new model. It looks exactly the same as the previous one, but it's different.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so see, this is actually a good checklist for people if you wanted to do, because like I can't collect all the Incredible Hulk books, so I'm just collecting all the Gray Hulk ones, so I'm almost done collecting that because there wasn't that many. I need like another like 5 or something, and then I've got them all. But if you said I just want to get Silver Centurion, you go to this book. Okay, which one was that? That was 13, and then boom, and then you can just be like, okay, here's the issues that I need, right?
And this has the West Coast Avengers, Emperor Doom,
Secret
graphic novel, Secret Wars 2, Secret Wars 2.
Vision, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, I mean, there's Vision, Scarlet Witch.
Hey, JO, how's it going, man? That's okay. You don't need to say anything.
That is a real work, a real passion project of yours, mate. That's really fantastic. Good on you for doing that.
Yeah, this is bloody awesome.
My favorite character in the comics. I kept my collection. It's something I wanted to do, especially, after I said there was a letter in Iron Man 281 which was the first appearance of the War Machine armor, and they said, "Oh well, geez, anybody out there has a list of all this crazy stuff that Iron Man's had?" And I'm like, I can do that.
That's
and I
awesome.
did, but it was took a few years before I had the capability of making a book like this that had all the illustrations and that I could do in a PDF format and And by getting it through J-Man, you're also getting the nice one which is bookmarked. Um, I like when I sent it out to like Klobby, I had to chop it up into multiple emails because of the size of it.
Right.
And
Yes.
I sent it to Mexican Iron Man and Klobby, and it had to send it in 4 separate emails because of just of the size of it. I couldn't have attachment that big.
Right.
But getting it through this, you can get it in the one shot, and it's it's bookmarked for the various models and sections.
That's Stingray. Yeah, this is like awesome because it's like it's super organized and it gets right to the point of what it is, and the way you explained the way that you're calling it a model versus it's like, yeah, if the chest is the main thing, if he's altering that's something new. That's cool. I don't think Marvel would be thinking of it in that way. I was looking up that Iron Manual that you were talking about. I can't really see any scans of it. I'll see if I can find it just as a comparison. But
what they wouldn't do. Marvel would not hire fans to write it.
Well, yeah,
right. They wouldn't. It wouldn't be written by
someone
fans
who doesn't read any of the books. Just write one.
Right.
Read any of the books.
or someone who read them but didn't have any passion or care for the character, who didn't think, what would Iron Man fans like to know? Someone who had none of that. They're like, oh, I need to write this book. I like writing books like this particular method. I'm going to apply that to Iron Man, whether it fits or not. That's sort of thought they would put into it.
I think what happens is that even if the people are reading Iron Man, I mentioned this. So I don't know if you may have already. I think you saw it already. I posted the Galactus trilogy, the first Galactus.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
And it's like, and I just go through it, right? And the whole point is like the people who are doing either movies or whatever, they're not really reading it and they're not really understanding it, because a lot of times you hear like, oh, I'm a fan of the character, I'm a fan of this. It's like, are you though? Because you're missing some fundamental things that made this story what it was, and they're missing that stuff. So Iron Man, I don't know anything about Iron Man. I learned more today than in all my whole life just on the stream, but also in going through. You got to put the work in. I think here's what happens: people will read it on Wikipedia and be like, okay, I got it. Yeah, Demon in a Bottle. Okay, perfect. I understand what's going on. It's like, it's different than picking it up and reading it, because when you're reading it, it's way different experience, because I'm like, oh shit, yeah, there's a lot of attachments, right? It's like, okay. And if D-Bud's saying, here's every attachment there's ever been, it's like, holy shit, I can't remember any of them. Like 2 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot what the, oh yeah, he's got those attachments. Yeah. So to remember and go through and find the page and scan it and put it in, like, that's crazy. That's dedication.
Having done this, I remember
passion.
A lot of those attachments. Not all of them. I have to refer to this, but
right.
But it's a lot of ones like, oh yeah, he had that crazy one in that issue. Especially that Model 5. That Model 5 has a ton. All those wrist attachments he has on it. That's the one.
Incredibles or Megamind. Just think about it. Iron Man is so difficult though, because of the nature of that character. It makes sense that he's always changing it around and making it better. And actually, but it's funny because like I see you also like Ultraman, which was, I have a funny story to tell you.
Yes.
Where
top shelf there, all
yeah, is all Ultraman. I'll remove this for a second and just go back to this view for a second.
Now, which Ultraman do you mean, J-Man? Are we talking Japanese Ultraman or
no? Japanese Ultraman. So he's watched. So me and D-Bud. Well, there's a similarity and there's a difference. The similarity is we own all the Blu-ray and DVD sets that have come out. The difference is he's watched them all. I'm only into Ultra. I finished Ultra 7, so whatever. I'm that early on, but I kept buying them because they go out of print and then they're gone, right?
Yeah.
But no, what I was going to say is that I was this guy when Iron Man, the first movie had come out. This guy was talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, I used to love the Iron Man live action show, and I watched it all the time." I said there was no a lot. And he's like, no, I used to watch it as a kid. I said, okay. I said, his name was Trevor. I said, Trevor, I was just going to stop you for a minute. I said, I don't really know much about Iron Man. He's one of my coolest looking characters. I have many shirts, like pictures, posts. I have 4 million desktop wallpapers of Iron Man, but I'm a bit of a poser because I haven't read anything. I said, however, I do own whatever cartoons have come out, and I've got figures. I was like, I don't think there was an Iron Man live action show. I'm pretty sure there wasn't, or else I would own it in some format or have it downloaded or something. I said, there's cartoons. He's like, no, we watched it. I said, hold on a second. Explain to me what happens. He's talking about, I was like, are you talking about Ultraman? He's like, and then I had a keychain of Ultraman. So I pulled my keys. I was like, is this the thing?
Does he look like this? Yeah.
Is this the guy? He's like, oh shit, that is the guy. I was like, that's Ultraman, Trev. I said, for future reference, even if I don't know something, even if I don't know everything about a character, just assume I know more than you.
Trust me.
Just trust me. But then he's like, I loved Ultraman and he loves Iron Man. I was like, hey, what is it about? Is it just like
somebody else that does that? Yeah.
Like what? So D, but what is it about Iron Man? Like, is just like his look, or like that he's a tech guy, or like what is it about the character?
I like the fact that, he's somewhat possible,
right?
As a hero, he's not super powered. It's his suit of armor, and technologically, it's possible to do some of that. I mean, we can't really do the armor that he has,
right?
Yet, but there, it's something that's possible to a degree. He's not a completely fictional character. There's something that makes him possible.
He's science fiction. He's not fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, if you get bitten by a spider, you're probably either going to get really sick or die.
Right.
You're not going to be able to walk up the side of a wall. But Iron Man is a possibility. That's something I've liked about it. But I just like the character, the people who worked on it over the years. I mean, there's a fan of the old Tuska stuff. Of course, Layton's era. I absolutely love that. There's other characters I really love, like the old Kirk Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah, I know you like Fantastic Four.
And Romita Spider-Man, Spider-Man was probably the one I was first really collecting his back issues. Had hardcore, but at the time I sold my collection, I mean, Iron Man was my favorite, and that was the one I held on to. And the 4 comics I collected normally were Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and the Hulk. Those were the ones I bought regularly since I was like 6 years old. So one of those was going to be the ones I was going to keep.
Hulk, I always liked Hulk as well. I feel like
he was the one I actually dropped after a bit.
Yeah. So wait, Hulk, Iron Man, Fantastic Four. Sorry, what was the other one?
Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Iron Man.
Oh, it's Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I dropped after. It was several years, but I kind of got to about like issue 160 or something, and I just wasn't liking what they were doing. And I dropped it.
Function Iron Man suit. Oh, awesome. So did you we never really talked about the Iron Man movies. We're going to end off in about maybe like 15 minutes. So what do you think about the movies in general? Like, do you like them or you don't like them? Like, is it not?
Well, the first one, I'm not so hard. I know that they can't do exactly the comics.
Right.
And what they did with the first movie, I really liked. They didn't ruin the character.
Right.
They certainly did it differently in that he reveals that he's Iron Man at the end of the movie.
Right.
Which isn't, the classic one. I'm not sure if they are doing that with the current one, but because I haven't been reading them for 20 some odd years, almost 30 years. But I like the way they did the origin. The origin fit with the character. I liked Downey's portrayal of Tony Stark. It was not the Tony Stark from the comics that I really knew, but it worked. It was great. It was very enjoyable. So, I wasn't going to hate on it because it wasn't exactly the comic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did a really good job of it. The second one, I was a little disappointed in the way they tried to merge Whiplash and the Crimson Dynamo together. But there were still things I liked about that movie.
The suitcase was cool.
The suitcase, yeah, that was very cool. That Le Mans, I mean the Monaco sequence was good.
Mm-hmm.
The third movie, I know a lot of people have a problem with it because of the Mandarin, but I also knew they couldn't do the Mandarin.
Right.
But it's
Really?
actually a pretty. Oh yeah.
Honestly,
No, because they were going to be catering to China. They couldn't possibly do that character.
well,
But
in Shang-Chi, which is arguably an inferior movie, they actually do a better job of the Mandarin, right? So,
yeah,
I think
they were kind of waffling there a little bit, but the Mandarin was really. I knew at that time they could not do it, but because of that, I just didn't let that bother me, and I actually liked that storyline because it was, portraying him with PTSD was, I think that was a really good aspect of that, is that would be pretty, what he went through in the Avengers movie would be, pretty hard to deal with. And the rest of it, I mean, I like that storyline, actually. A lot of people really hate it because of the Mandarin, but I don't think it was that bad. And little things I can nitpick about it, but as a entertainment wise, I thought it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
There are some massive logic fails in Iron Man 3. Like the Mandarin I didn't like, but the logic fails, like Tony Stark on television challenges a terrorist to attack him at home, gives out his address, and then is caught by complete surprise when the terrorist attacks him at home. When he has a basement full of complete remote control Iron Man suits, and he is taken out by some helicopters. Like, this is a guy
there's some weirdness in it.
who fought an alien invasion, and he's beaten by some guys in Hueys.
Yes.
Come on. I'm sorry, in terms of...
I just throw I have to throw my brain out when I watch this. I don't want to try to make it logical. Otherwise, I'd hate them all.
Yeah, I don't mind Iron Man 3 as much as when I've only seen it twice. I own it, but I've only seen it twice. Once in the theater, I hated it, and then I watched it again recently and I just posted a video not too long, or it either I posted it or it's coming soon. And I did a stream on it. I didn't think it was that bad watching it the next time around, knowing that, okay, it's not going to be the Mandarin. So just get that out of your head. Like what you're saying, D-Bud, like don't even think about that because it's not happening. So other than that, do I still think there's some cool parts? There is some cool parts. I don't like the getting rid of the suits and like fixing the shrapnel. I'm like, that was pretty convenient. And it's like, yeah, I'm good now. It's like, you're good?
And
wait, what the hell
5 seconds later, he's Iron Man again.
And then he's Iron Man again in the next
unbelievable.
thing.
Yeah. What is it? It's 2013, right? 2013. Oh, I'm getting rid of all my suits. I don't need those suits anymore. I'm putting Iron Man past me until Age of Ultron, which is like just over a year later. I mean, come on.
Like, it was weird. That was weird.
That montage at the end where it fixes everything. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
If
that montage wasn't there, that would be a lot better. Just end it like they kill Extremis or whatever the guy, and then that's the end of it, and then just end it there. And be like, okay,
who killed the Extremis soldier? Who was that who saved the day in that film?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I can't get past that stuff. There's so many logic fails.
She defeated him with one of her personally scented candles.
Yeah, that was
You know what I mean?
I can't get past that stuff. It's just that film is a giant middle finger to Iron Man the character and Iron Man fans, and it's Shane Black trying to be cleverer than he is. You know, like I don't know. Yeah, so that's my take. I can't stand that movie, Iron Man 3. You know, it's character assassination on so many levels that just it's an insult. Yeah, especially when the first movie is so good.
I'm also one of the people that loves Batman and Robin.
I also love that.
I loved it when I saw it.
Yeah, but
my buddy who was with me, he was like, I could tell he wasn't happy with it. I'm like, oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah, but Batman and Robin it makes no bones about what is. It's a ridiculous, campy film. It's not meant to be a continuation of the Burton films, really.
No,
it's just a ridiculous.
It's an homage to the TV series, which
is
my Batman, because I was 4 years old when that came out, and that's the first superhero I was watching was that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it, but it's not Iron Man 3.
But I walked out of Batman Robin loving it anyways, and my two buddies, one on each side. What? You like that? Oh, it's terrible. And then my friend was like, oh, Batman's got the nipples. And I said, he had the nipples in Batman Forever. You didn't mind it then. And he's like, no, he didn't. And I I was like, yes, he did. I've seen Batman Forever 4,000 times. He has the nipples. I'll show it to you. So we actually went back to my buddy's house and put the VHS tape in. And I paused. I fast forward. He gets the new suit. And I was like, look, pause. Look, there's the nipples. He's like, well, it wasn't as obvious. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, anyways, but I liked it. But I'm okay with Iron Man 3 for the most part, but except for those points. So I don't know what I gave it, like a 6 or 7 out of 10 or something, which I'll stick by whatever I gave it. Maybe a 6 or 7. I can't remember. I don't hate it. Civil War, because you talked about Civil War. I did not like Iron Man in that movie. Because I liked Iron Man because I never read the comics of Iron Man. So when I'm watching these Iron Man movies, I'd read 0 comics. After the first movie came out, I got the Comixology, whatever. It was Comixology at the time. Now it's Kindle. I got they had sales on. So I grabbed those and read them. I thought these are really cool. And then I had the cartoons and stuff already. So I had some stuff. I was really pumped. I bought all the toys, all that. I saw Iron Man 2 and I didn't hate Iron Man 2. I kind of bought the toys for that. Iron Man 3 pissed me off. But I'm over it now. But I like Iron Man in all of his appearances in the other movies. And I really liked all of his appearances, but I did not like his Civil War stuff. Because why would he join the government? Like Tony Stark in the movies was not really with the government. So why would he join? That was weird. And I don't like he's going against Captain America. And Captain America, for me, is the best character in all these MCU movies. He is the MCU for me.
But that was the point of the Civil War.
Yeah, comic,
I think was that they were kind of butting heads, and they butt heads in the Armor Wars that are this book covers. I mean, they got into it over Armor Wars.
Hey,
Mom.
So and now at that time I hadn't read Armor War. See, because it's if you're going against Captain America, I can't side with you. I didn't read Civil War because I didn't like that story there either. But I think in Civil War it was over the identities or something, Act, right? Yeah. You have to give up your identity.
No, the Civil War. I mean, the movie it worked for me because he felt. I think it made sense that he would feel guilty about some of what had happened because. He felt guilt in the original movie over being an arms manufacturer.
Yeah.
And that's why he decided we're going to stop doing weapons and stuff. So it made sense to me that he would kind of side with, let's make sure we're controlled when we do this stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to have innocents die. Whereas, Cap is taking we got to be able to function freely to get things done. And so it made sense to me, and you don't like to see them fighting, but it made sense that they would. I think they did it well.
I don't know. He's too whiny. It's my parents. I don't know. I just didn't like him in that. I didn't like.
Killed my mommy.
I know. It's he was brainwashed. I mean, you've seen Aliens and all this. It's the guy's brainwashed. That's it, right? I mean, that should be. I don't know. I just didn't like Iron Man in that. I know he's I don't know. He's supposed to be. I don't know if the movie was trying to say they both have points to make, but I didn't get that. To me, I'm like, Iron Man's just being whiny, and I don't like that.
No, I see. I did. I felt that they had their points, but I'm with Cap.
yeah. So, but I mean, see, you're the Iron Man guy, so you should.
Yeah, I'm an Iron Man guy, but I'm with Cap.
Yeah, see, I'm with Cap too. That's the problem. So it's I don't like that. I understand they wanted to make Civil War. Maybe I don't know. I think the solution for me would have been don't make that story. Just don't because that story is too rooted in comic book lore. It'd be they're going to try to do Secret Wars. How is that going to work? These kinds of things you can't do them when it involves the entire thing. Even Infinity War, which is still a cool movie, they did MCU version of Infinity War, but not the real Infinity War. But Anyways,
Phil Owens brings up old Senator Byrd from the comics. Yeah, and,
Stargate
but that
constantly fought
was
against
the comics. This is the movies. Totally different
Yeah.
universe to me. I treat the MCU stuff is totally separate from the comics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it definitely is in a lot of sense where it changes things anyways, like fundamentally too,
Yeah.
right?
Now, speaking of the comics, though,
Mm.
you saw the Marvel superhero Iron Man cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. They change a little bit of it, and they kind of merge some stories together.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are great. Those were among the first ones I saw. Because those came out when I was like 4, and they're using the art from the original comics. They're limited animation, but I don't care. I love all of those ones because they're using the real art and mostly the real storylines. The funny thing about those is, did you watch all of them?
No,
Or
I haven't
yet?
watched
Okay.
them yet. No, but I've seen some of them from before. Like I've seen these cartoons before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's one with the Mole Man, and they actually produced that cartoon before the comic of it came out.
Oh, really?
Because there was only so many stories they were going to do, and they kind of said, well, we're working on this one, so they had to create the cartoon with only like the basic plot line
Right.
for the comic. So it wasn't, I'm like, oh really? Because it's kind of close to the comic, but I'm like, oh wow, it's just, yeah, it's not. They don't use art from the comic. When I looked at it, like, oh yeah. So, and it was because they actually they hadn't put the comic out yet. They just let them know about that.
Cool
And the other
theme song too.
Yeah. The other odd one is the Submariner cartoons in that.
Oh, I've seen all those. I've seen all those. Yeah.
There's only like one story in that's from the comics, because they did those before he only just started his series. So like almost all the stories of Submariner are original stories by the animators there. It's not, and I'm like, how did they do it? Because the art looks great. It looks a lot like the comics.
Yeah, well, same with
And these are
Spider-Man
all-
67.
Yeah, these are all lifted from the actual comic panels.
We should do these and go through all these. There's not that many.
They're on YouTube. There's a
Them.
some you can find them on YouTube. These ancient cartoons.
Well, I can share them. They're on Internet Archive as well, but like I can share them. Like I can share the screen the way we're doing it here. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to.
Yeah, Classic Comics is right. You're right on that. Classic Comics. Yeah.
Yeah, Classic Comics has I was on Tony's side in Age of Ultron. Caps gives Tony his lecture about how they have to be honest with each other. Avengers isn't going to work, and Tony finds out Steve is hiding. Oh, stop it, Classic Comics! Nobody's
that's
on.
the point. That's the point. Is that I was on Team Cap in that film, but as D-Bud said, you can understand both of their points of view. You could side with either one of them and feel justified. That's the genius of that movie. I reckon it's RDJ's best performance as Tony Stark. They scrap the snarky humor and the all that stuff, and they scrap the over the top PTSD from Iron Man 3, and they portray him as someone who's now deeply conflicted, feeling guilt, and really he puts in a great performance. Kind of phoned it in for Iron Man 3, but Civil War he's really on point. RDJ.
Yeah, he really shows. It's.
Sorry,
that whole
best
movie,
live
to
action-
me, he's feeling really guilty about
Ultron.
people dying. Oh, my so-and-so got killed in that, and the Ultron stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to do that. That's why I stopped making weapons. I found out people were getting killed with my weapons that shouldn't have been. They were getting to people that shouldn't have had them.
Right.
And it's sort of like the Armor Wars story in the comic is that, these people are using my technology to steal and kill and all this. And I got to stop them, even if I have to, ignore the law. And that's when he has a conflict with Captain America, who was, at that time, he was the captain.
Yes.
They butted heads over that. And he's like, Cap felt kind of betrayed by him, but he's like, I got to do this. I can't have people doing this. and I don't
Stop
care. I'm
making
going to
murder
run
bots.
roughshod over anybody to stop it. And again, you can see their positions in that too. It's like you can see why they both feel the way they do, and side with either one of them. Yeah, stop making murder bots.
Stop it.
Best
Stop
live,
it.
best live action Black Panther. Gotta say it. Best live action
Yeah.
Black Panthers in Civil War.
Yeah.
He's not a side character in his own film.
Right. All right, guys, that's it. I gotta go. Well, any final words, D-Bud? Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing this with everybody. So, guys, make sure you grab.
Thank you for sharing it for everybody. Yeah,
Well, all I did was make a link.
You're my distributor. That's all.
Diamond distributor.
I'm happy to have people have it. I don't have an easy way of distributing it, but since you're doing that, that's fantastic. I'd love to have people see it. Klobby wanted to kind of do this, but if you're going to do it with you, that's it's great. I'm sure he'd be very happy about that.
Yeah, that's it would have been great to have all of us on together for this, to go through this. But it is what it is. As at least we can share it with everybody. And I'm going to keep the link that's pinned. The link that's pinned. I'm going to put that in the description of this video.
Yeah, and
I'll also put it as a post. And I'll leave that on there because my OneDrive, this is not a huge file for OneDrive, but it's a huge file to email. So you have to use that link, and that link seems to be better than the other one. So I'm going to remove it from the other one because there's just no point in having it there. And I'll put it on this, and I'll leave it on OneDrive for everybody. And I'll put the links everywhere so you guys can all grab it. Last word on Iron Man. Sorry, what do you think? Have a great weekend. Take care, Dave.
Russ
guys, make sure you subscribe to Dave C as well. He's a great guy. Last words, going to Iron Man. Russ never sleeps. Okay. Did you have fun hanging out?
Yeah. So last night I went to see. I'll just put my camera on for a second. So last night I went to see. Can you see that? Wrexham. Checksum yourself before you Wrexham yourself. So I went to see Wrexham play. It's Ryan Reynolds' team.
Yeah.
They come down here to Wellington, and we on my Facebook page there's tons of. I was interviewed by a couple of news outlets because I was with a friend in a big dragon onesie. Wrexham didn't win, but we still had a really good time and enjoyed the game, and made a sort of a celebration. So it's a good time.
What are they in? Are they in League One or
Wrexham? I don't know.
They're moving up the pyramid. I know that.
3 promotions in 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm not a football fan. Rugby is my preferred sport, but it's Welsh sport, so I support it. So I think they're one level below the Premier League. Although anyone who knows football, like if FKHC 2500 was here, he would tell us right away. Yeah. So Wrexham have moved up a lot, but it's promoting the game. Promoting Welsh sport. Also, it's great promotion for the Wellington Phoenix, who are sort of because I live near Wellington, which is the capital of New Zealand, and it's great promotion for them. A bit of international recognition. I think the pub, there's a Welsh pub down in Wellington, and I think they're going to appear on the Welcome to Wrexham Disney Plus series very briefly. So it's nice. Okay. It was a good time.
Awesome. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to put those links up in a couple of minutes, so look out for that. That's it. Thanks, D-Bud, for the book and for being on here. We will see everybody. Tomorrow is Circle of Iron. Freaking awesome movie. So Circle of Iron tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday's Avengers. That's it. Thanks, guys. We're heading out.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, chat. Hwyl fawr. Thanks, D-Bud.
Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.